Kyler Murray's back. Brock Purdy is likely out for week number 8. There's still some details that are going to be trickling in, and he's got some time to get through the protocol, but there's a strong likelihood that Brock Purdy is sitting out week number 8, and that means that this man right here, Sam Darnold, not a very good quarterback, is going to be commanding things for the 49ers, and that's detrimental to a lot of fantasy football production. So horrible news. Not that Brock Purdy's been playing great, but he's definitely got this offense, churning out fantasy football production, whether he's throwing INTs, losing games, whatever. This is not good news for everybody involved, including Christian McCaffrey, but they may lean on McCaffrey more, and that ends up, working out for McCaffrey. But everybody else, Ayuk, this isn't good. Kyler Murray back, baby. Is he back this week, or is he just a full participant in practice, getting him ready for the next contest? Or is Kyler back? Like, if you've been waiting on Kyler, you might have this man in your lineup for week 8. It's pretty exciting, actually. I mean, I'm getting hyped up for Kyler Murray, and I'm a Cardinal fan here, first of all. And I've been very critical of Kyler. I will remain critical. This man is not a great leader, and I've been ultra critical about giving him his bag. But I will say that, look, how hard is it to get a top 10 quarterback? He's a top 10 quarterback. Is he a quarterback that can lead the Cardinals to a championship? That I don't know. I'm hopeful. He's still young. I'm open-minded to it. But from a fantasy perspective, he scores like over 20 fantasy points a game. He is a top 6, top 5, top 7, top 5 to 7 quarterback in fantasy football. And for people in shambles right now, you get Kyler Murray back. Okay, so we have that news, Christian Watson news, Tyreek Hill in question for week number 8. Not good news. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, lots to talk about. Brock Purdy probably looking like he's going to be out week 8, but still has time to pass through the concussion protocol. Sam Darnold probably looking at a start. Not good. Kyler Murray, get on your horse, Kyler. Get him in your lineup if the news keeps trending this way, of course. Those are pretty clear cut. I don't know that there's much to talk about right now until phone calls and super chats and questions ensue that relate to, what do we do about Ayuk? What do we do about, Hollywood Brown? What do we do about the Cardinal run game? Is it DeMarcado, or are they going to go back to Ingram? We were a week early. Take a lap on me. A week early on DeMarcado versus Ingram, but it does look like DeMarcado's the guy. What are we doing with Deebo Samuel? Well, Deebo Samuel is likely not going to play this week. The Niners have a week 9 bye, so it makes sense to rest Deebo 1 week. Although without their quarterback, without Brock Purdy, I wouldn't put it past Shanahan to run his injured players out onto the field. Like Trent Williams as an example. Trent Williams is also injured right now, and the likelihood of Trent Williams being healthy enough to play in this game is really slim to none, but the likelihood of him suiting up is not slim to none. There's probably a decent chance Trent Williams tries to give it a go injured, because that's what happens in Shanahan systems. I know a lot of you think, oh, you're just a hater of Shanahan, but there's a lot of reasons why I don't like the way Shanahan operates his team. And a lot of guys get hurt over and over and over in his systems. And I just hope he doesn't rush these two back to try and, I don't know, get one win when it's about the bigger landscape here. So Deebo, I would guess, is out another week. Then they got the bye week. Trent should be out. I don't know that he will be out for another week in week 8, and then the bye week 9, and then everybody can maybe come back fully healthy. Maybe Shanahan does think of it that way. At the end of the day, we'll have to see what he does. Christian Watson is, let's see here. Let me put these news pieces back on screen because we might have to reference them a little bit later. Kyler Murray. Here's the news report on Kyler. Murray had his 21-day practice window open last week. He was limited in practice throughout the week, but the Cardinals chose not to activate him from injured reserve over the weekend. With a full practice under his belt to open this week, it is possible Kyler returns to Arizona's Week 8 lineup for a tilt against the Baltimore Ravens. Kyler, get on your horse. Kyler Murray. Again, mixed feelings because I do have some, concerns about him as a leader. But this right here, Christian Watson back at practice. Man, this is great news. Now, I know a lot of people are ready to write off Christian Watson, and I don't really blame you. We got Wheel Snipe City in the building right here. Almost a celebrity at this point. Wheel Snipe City came in and dropped a massive amount of super chats and gifted memberships. And this was an absolute gem the other night. And he owns the phone line now. The highest super chatter of the month is the phone line sponsored by that individual. So when we do open the phone lines, we're not opening the phone lines yet, but it'll look something like this.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the Wheel Snipe City, Sully phone line. I keep saying city. We might have to change your name to Wheel Snipe City, Sully, because I just, for some reason, my brain wants to say city. But Sully, he owns the phone line. Sully to the moon. Christian Watson, this looked like a ACL tear when this happened. If you watch the replay, this looked like a long-term injury for Christian Watson in week number 7 when he went down, twisted his knee. And, boy, he hobbled to the sideline. Hobbled, and I mean he hobbled. Laid down, put his hands over his head. Almost looked like, gave that frustration look where you almost pound the ground like it's over. Damn it, I can't believe this happened. It looked like it was a season-ending potential injury, or at least like a 4 to 6 week meniscus tear, surgery needed, IR. But he's out there running routes and actually exploding and hitting a tackle dummy, and he's out there exploding off the knee. So there's really no concern right here on Christian Watson for right now. I know a lot of people are ready to jump ship, cut the cord, just call him dead to them, and I understand that, and I don't blame anybody for putting him on the bench for better options. Maybe you got Josh Downs and you're like, I'm going to roll with Downs. I get all that, and no one's taking laps on the show by making maneuvers around that type of player, that category of player, that tier of player, because Josh Downs is good. But I want to caution anybody that's ready to run away from Watson completely, to cut him, to trade him away like he's garbage, that this is football. This is the NFL. This is fantasy football. This is not baseball. This is not I know baseball is real popular right now because my Diamondbacks, I'm not a big Diamondback fan, but let's go. But anyway, I don't really care about baseball, to be honest. And I know everybody's excited about baseball, so let's reference baseball. Let's say, okay, in baseball, you're a 6.7 point per game player. That's what you are. You'll always be that. That's the way baseball is. In fact, you don't even need to watch fantasy baseball. You could just look at a stat sheet. You could be an Excel sheet Eric and play fantasy baseball and never watch a single game because it's all averages. They play so many games, it's a numbers game at that point. How much do you average? Your average is 6.7. You are a 6.7. Fantasy football is the one sport where it doesn't matter. You can be a scrub. You can be a bust. You can be a bum for 8 straight weeks, 7 straight weeks, 10 straight weeks, and you could go on fire. You can get ignited on fire from, let's say, weeks 10 to 17, and in that time frame, be a top 7 to 12 wide receiver. So I just want to emphasize that we were so quick in this game of fantasy football to write people off and try and tell their story like Calvin Ridley. Oh, Calvin Ridley's garbage. Oh, yeah, cut him. Cut that man. He's garbage. We're so quick to act like players cannot redeem themselves in the middle of a season. And it does suck that Calvin Ridley hasn't delivered all year long. It does. And it does suck that this man's been injured all year, comes back, doesn't do what we want, gets injured again, and now we're like, I don't know if I trust to put him in my lineup because what if I get 2 points, he goes out and gets hurt again. I get it. But all I'm trying to tell you is that if anybody thinks that this man or Calvin Ridley can't, I'm not saying they 100% will, but that they can't become top 12 wide receivers in fantasy football from this moment in time forward, you are, I don't want to say delusional, but you are literally in the moment. You're emotionally making a decision. You're making decisions in the moment, and you're upset. You're an upset unger right now. And that's all you can think about is, I don't want to be disappointed anymore, want to wash my hands from it. And I understand it, but I'm here to try my job to talk you down a little and say, don't do that, Donnie. Don't be don't doing Donnie. There's reasons to cut bait and say, I'm severing this relationship. I no longer want your services. But really, in Christian Watson, it's been circumstance. It's been injury. It has not been because they aren't good. It is not because they aren't elite. They have elite capability. This man has some of the most elite skill set I've seen in a wide receiver entering his second year in like a decade. Not the top, but one of a handful of wide receivers that I say he runs a 4.28. He's 6'4" plus. He's a monster. He's dominating when a football is thrown up in congestion or contention. He literally can dominate. He's amazing at catching the football downfield. He probably, in my eyes, is most capable out of anybody but maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people in the National Football League at the wide receiver position. He's probably up there, right below those 2, 3, 4 people, of being most capable of a multiple TD game, a 3 TD game even. He's that good when he's on, when he's healthy. He has a long injury history. No one's trying to run away from that. Maybe in Dynasty, I'm a little bit apprehensive about trusting him, and I'll admit that right now. But again, he can be top 12 wide receiver material from this moment in time forward. We just need to make sure we're not overreacting, being an overreacting knee-jerk Noah and causing, a whole lot of regret later by dropping, cutting, or trading away him on a whim. So let's go back over to this piece of news. So we got the Kyler news. We got, what was this? Oh, Trent Williams news. We got that out of the way. This one right here is kind of disappointing right here. Raheem Mostert is looking very questionable at this moment in time for week number 8. That makes Salvan Ahmed a potential add. If you're looking for a desperation running back play, Ahmed could definitely get some carries because Jeff Wilson also needs to be. You need to make sure you check waiver wire for that guy, because if Jeff Wilson's out there, he could be the lead dog. But because he was in the game active last week and wasn't fully utilized, you still got to wonder, is he healthy? And by the way, we got a couple new emojis. If you guys want to drop the Bob emoji, anytime we've got somebody acting like a Bob in the chat, we now have a Bob emoji for that individual. We also have a Devon Achan emoji. We also have, I think I added 3 or so emojis. We've got a Bob emoji. We'll put that there. We've got a Devon Achan emoji. We've had the ETN I think the ETN emoji is also new. I think I added that one. So check out your emojis. We got the Achan emoji. Let me see if I can find the Achan emoji. If you guys don't know how to get access to these emojis, all you got to do is click on that join button on the main YouTube page, or click this link right here and become a YouTube exclusive member, and you can start dropping these emojis and help the channel out. So anytime someone's a Bob, here's the link right there. Let me pin the link right now for anybody that wants to become a YouTube exclusive member. It's really easy. Just click the link or click the join button at any time, and you, my friend, can have access to all these emojis whenever your little heart desires. Let me see if I can pin this. Can I pin this or not? It's not letting me pin it. Okay, I'll pin it later. I don't know why it's not letting me pin it. There's the HN emoji, the Bob emoji. There you go. Or you can spell Bob out like Isaac did. I like that, Isaac. You did good. Isaac's doing creative things here. Isaac's spelling Bob out right here. B-O-B. Don't be a Bob. And Isaac, part of me wonders, is Isaac doesn't have a green emoji. See, Isaac's makeshifting this because Isaac doesn't want to join the $2.99 support group. that is the Fantasy Football Show exclusive membership. But hey, I still appreciate you. Everybody here is appreciated. But Bob doing his makeshift style. I love it. Bob, look at Bob. And Lego Batman's in the building. And I don't know, I got some $20 haulers here. I'm going to handle these as soon as I can. Perps with a $20 hauler on screen. Perps, you monster, you. I want to put you right here and go to you next. You're going to get first. You're going to get assistance right away. Perps, appreciate you. Smitty, did you drop two $20 haulers? I think you dropped two $20 haulers, Perps. Unbelievable. And Ty Lee coming in with the 20 watt. Ty Lee, where you been, bro? Where's that Joe Burrow footage when you need it? Ty Lee coming in strong. That boy with a $20 hauler. Avon with the $20 hauler. We got some working out to do. Every time someone drops a $20 hauler, I got to do a set. So I'm going to be in trouble. Joseph with a $20 hauler. We're in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in trouble. Your boy's going to be working out until midnight at this point. So I'm going to get to those $20 haulers in a second. But Raheem Mostert, very, very potentially capable of missing week number 8, which is horrible news. Devon Achane, I can't wait to get this guy back. I cannot wait to get this man. I cannot wait to get Devon Achane back in the backfield on in my fantasy teams, my 7 to 8 of them that I have out of the 12 that I really focus on. Devon Achane to the freaking moon. And this guy is not going to stay healthy. He just isn't. And you got Jeff Wilson's not going to stay healthy. And some might say that Devon Achane won't stay healthy. And touche, if you want to talk about his small stature, I get it. I'm not going to sit here and say you don't have a point. But I'm going to go ahead and look, Lego Batman coming in with a $20 hauler. Lego, appreciate you. Lego, we do need you to bring Devonta Smith back this week, pal. That's why we have you here doing this. Lego is in control of the bat signal. Whenever we need a player to reemerge, if they've been lost for a while, we can throw them on the bat signal. Any $20 hauler request, if somebody wants to put a player in the bat signal, just let me know. We've got Isaac with a $20 hauler. Unbelievable. We got Ron Navy with a $20 hauler. Unbelievable. Ron says, where's the Cousins and Addison emoji? we do maybe need to do that. Lego Batman, appreciate your $20 hauler, broski. Did we, let's see, let me put that right there. Thank you, Lego. Appreciate you. Perps with another $5 hauler. Coming for you. So make sure Salvan Ahmed isn't available because this guy might not play. And buy low. And our buy low list is right here. We've been talking about these guys so far all week. You know, it's weeks early. We still got a lot of time. But these are the buy lows heading into the rest of, week 8 on for right now. And this will fluctuate. Week 9, these guys might stay here. Some of them might leave. And it's not that you can buy some of them low. It's that you're buying them lower than their value's about to explode to. Or in some cases, you're just buying at the value because it makes sense. The running back position is devastated. Some of the top wide receivers are getting knocked off like flies. And it's like Cooper Kupp's not going to be extremely cheap, but coming off a bad game, you have a little bit of wiggle room. Not a lot, but a little bit of wiggle room. So these are the buy lows walking in to the week 8 on. And if anybody asks a question about, hey, who should I get, Smitty, you're going to see me reference a lot of these names over and over and over, but we'll come up with as creative of a package we can come up with for your specific situation and team. And we got some gifted memberships. Ron Navy dropping 20 gifted memberships. What's going on here? Ron Navy to the moon, dropping the 20 gifted memberships. Ron's also been here for 16 long months. And I don't say that member for 16 months. Party comment replies. Unbelievable, Ron. I don't know that Ron actually sent a message on that or if I think it's just celebrating him. Ron, nice job. Ron, 16 months, doing it strong, doing it live. Okay, so let's see if we have any other pieces of news here before we move on. I think I do. I'm excited the Cardinals are getting Kyler back. As critical as I am of him, and I still am, I want to be very, very frank that I think Kyler needs to show leadership, but he's young, and It is what it is. He's on the team. I got to accept that he's an Arizona Cardinal. Arizona Cardinal coaching staff is looking actually pretty competent right now, and they're putting together, a fighting team without Kyler. So I'm kind of excited to see what Kyler does with new leadership. Will Kyler become a leader? Will the team rally around Kyler? And Kyler, from a fantasy perspective, whether you disagree with his ability to win games or take you to a Super Bowl or lead a locker room, because I've been so critical of Kyler putting his earbuds in and just ignoring his teammates and not being a leader, not, hanging out with his teammates. His teammates don't even really know him. I hope that this coaching staff helps him grow up, and he's young enough to grow up. He's not even close to 30. He's got so much time to mature, and maybe this ACL tear did something to him in the noggin. Maybe he's going to approach things very differently going forward and lead this team. So I'm really hopeful for the Cardinals. The Cardinals look like they have some good upside for the coming years, and I'm hoping, and I would be very, very intrigued by trading him away as well. I just think it's going to be a fun offseason for the Cardinals. So we'll see what's happened. Big O says, Smitty, you were really against Kyler during the offseason. Well, I think I just explained it to you there, so now you kind of know where I'm at with Kyler. I'm very, very critical of him. Very critical of him. Now, that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed from the beginning of the show. Even when I put that Kyler news up, I was critical. But I am excited to see, from a fantasy perspective, my guy, Big O, from a fantasy perspective, he's an exciting player. Like, this is the fantasy football show. This is not your mom and pop, just NFL show. This is an NFL show, news show, and a fantasy show. So we're talking about Kyler from a different perspective. Okay, so this right here, Tyreek Hill, whose status is up in the air for Sunday, did not practice because of a hip injury. Mostert did not practice because of an ankle injury. Again, we'll have to monitor this on Tyreek Hill. Waddle's always banged up, still kind of banged up, and so this is bad for Tua if he can't get his weapons onto the field. I still think Tua can deliver, but it'll be maybe a watered-down version of what Tua's capable of doing when he's got all of his weapons on the field, his track and field team. But I have a feeling Tyreek is more like 60-40 to play, even though questionable is typically going to be 50-50. I believe right now it's a 60-40 kind of thing, unless he suffers a setback or there's something more extreme going on that we don't know about. TJ Hawkinson did not practice with the foot. We saw him go down in the game. His coach said, get on the floor, get on the floor. I don't know why that they were trying to kill the clock or something, and it looked like they were faking a TJ Hawkinson injury. But it ended up being he really is hurt. But we thought it was an ankle or a knee or something, but it ends up being a foot. And we got to monitor this. This is not like great news, but I don't know that it's like dire at this moment in time. So hang tight on that. This one right here is Malik Cunningham. This pisses me off. The Jets, first of all, they keep cutting this guy over and over and over. They cut him, put him on the practice squad, cut him, put him on the practice squad, clears waivers, put him on the practice squad. And teams are just letting him do it. And I'm telling you right now, this kid has so much ability to be, I'm going to go to the super chats in a minute, so much ability to be a surprise in the NFL. I'm not saying he's a guarantee by any means. It reminds me a lot of Malik Willis, the Titans rushing quarterback that we were pretty excited about last year. When he got his opportunity, he shotted the bed pretty hard. Took a big deuce right on the field. But he's come back on the field this year a little bit here and there, and there's some upside. I think this guy's a better version of Malik. That Malik. I think this guy could be pretty darn good. And the fact that the Jets let him just pass through, I don't understand why they didn't try and scoop up this kid and say, what if this kid is the real deal? He looks really good. He's raw, but he's got so much ability. He looks like Lamar, like an early version of Lamar Jackson. And if you don't see the upside, and if you don't see the downside of Zach Wilson enough to say, let's just bring in Malik, I don't understand. This pissed me off. This pissed me off big time when I saw this guy get cut again and the Jets do nothing about it. So Pats win again on this little situation, but they aren't using him either, so they aren't winning anything. Okay, sorry, Travis. I know the Pats are looking things are looking a little bit up. I know Travis is probably pretty excited. Travis, I'm excited for you, but I'm still not a big Mac Jones fan. But Austin Eckler was a full participant in Wednesday's practice. He looked a little gimpy at times during the Week 7 contest, and I know a lot of people are a little bit worried about him. Will he bounce back? I think he will. I think he's one of the better buy lows. Again, we got him on the buy low list, and I do believe that of all the players here that have the ability to win you a league, he is one of about 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 that have that. I could absolutely just win you a league at the value we're talking about right now. So, so definitely, we got another super chat here from Ron Navy. Ron Navy, $20 hauler. Had to take the wife to the ER last night. Admitted her she will be in there for a few days with the white blood cell count. Took a big drop because of the last chemo. All prayers welcome. Thank you. God bless. Throw some prayer emojis. We want to, interrupt and this super chat needs to be handled right away. Hit those prayer emojis. Drop them for Ron Navy. Ron Navy's got an emoji as well, so drop a Ron Navy emoji with the prayer emoji and do it live. Appreciate you, Ron. I'll give you a set for that one as well. Prayers up. I think that's all the news for right now, but Eckler is a buy low. I think people are going to freak out a little bit that own him and say maybe he's dropped off. And there's a chance. I mean, hey, look, there's a reason he was an avoid walking into the year. Injury, breaking down, 28 years old. 28 years old is the age of decline for every single running back known to man but Derrick Henry, who did it at 28, but is clearly dropping off at 29 like I thought he would at 28. And I was a year early, but I'd much rather jump, especially in Dynasty, and I focus a lot on Dynasty too. I'd rather jump a year early than a year late. But this guy missed time exactly like we predicted, and the question is, can he come back and play a short season and be very productive on his last age 28 season? I think so. I think he can be good. It's never a matter of like in your 28 age season when you're as good as Eckler is or as good as Henry was. It was never a matter of would Henry be good per game. It was about will he just break down, and he did. And he didn't last year, but he looks like he's slowing big time this year. Eckler breakdown was inevitable. I'm just glad it happened at the front of the season where a lot of us avoided drafting him. Now we get to scoop in, and a lot of people get confused by this. They're like, why are you freaking liking Eckler when you told us not to draft him? That's the whole point of fantasy football. Buy low, sell high. It's a market. It's a stock market. And his stock was too high. It was a sell, sell, sell. And then once ever it crashed, the stock crashed, Eckler's stock completely plummeted. Now it's time to kind of go in and scrape up the scraps, grab the shares at an all-time low, and try and benefit from them. And while his stock has climbed, this Week 7 bad performance is going to cast a little doubt in the minds of Eckler owners that are like, well, I need a win. I can't wait on him for 2 weeks to rebound. What if his ankle hampers him for another 2 or 3 weeks? So they might sell him. And you also got to consider when Bob comes in here and says, something stupid like,
Smitty, no one's selling Eckler. Can you believe this guy? Can you believe this guy, Smitty? Don't listen to him, even though I'm watching his show. Don't listen to him because no one's going to sell Eckler. I own Eckler. I'm not going to sell him, and the world revolves around me. Okay?
So while everybody thinks that that's how the world works and operates, Bob thinks that. I know it all. Ian thinks that the world revolves around him. Maybe the Eckler owner won't sell him. Maybe the Eckler owner has 4 wins. Maybe Eckler's already been traded 2 or 3 times in your league, and so he's probably not going to get traded again. That is neither here nor there. We're talking about every single individual trying to acquire these guys on this buy list, whether it's buy low or buy at normal pricing, because not everyone's going to be cheap, and you're not going to land them all. That's why I've got a ton of them on screen, because you might find that the Taylor owner loves Jonathan Taylor. He's not trading him at all. You might see the Cooper Kupp owner says, Cooper Kupp is going to live on my team for the rest of the season. I can't tell those things or predict those things. So you've got to take stabs at all the players on here, because I can't guarantee that even half of them will be available in your specific league. Let's get to the super chats. Where's the Cousins? And Addison emoji says Ron Navy, $20 hauler. Let's go. Appreciate you.
Alert. Super Chat Alert. Alert. Super Chat Alert.
I'm going to do 10 because I got a lot of 20s on screen here. And I got to make sure I have enough juice left to get through them all. Appreciate you, Ron Navy. And I owe Ron another set for the other message that we just read off. This one's from Isaac. Isaac, appreciate you dropping a super here. A few questions on the Derrick Henry trade news. If Henry does go to the Ravens, how do you rank him rest of season? What does Tajay Spears' upside look like with no Henry? Would you trade Monty for Derrick Henry on the Ravens? No, I would not trade. Well, I mean, look, there's pros and cons to it, and this is why I did a video on Derrick Henry, being traded and what this could look like. And Halloween night, October 31, is the trade deadline in the NFL. And there's a really strong possibility Derrick Henry and another player or two of big name player or two gets traded. And so I feel like this is definitely something that is going to increase his value. The thing we got to think about though is if he goes, let's say, to the Baltimore Ravens, okay? And the other thing you got to think about too is, let me pull this up real quickly. If he goes to the Baltimore Ravens, how long does it take him to get adjusted? And they are notorious for a running back by committee. Not saying that they will necessarily do that in this situation, especially if they trade for him. But the other thing is Derrick Henry's already had his bye week. And if he goes to the Ravens, he'll have a second bye week. So that part you got to look at. It also could keep him fresh. That's also potentially a pro. He'd have, let's say, 3 games or so, 2 or 3 games or so, and then he'd have a bye week, and then he'd play week 14, 15, 16, 17. So in a way, it would give Derrick Henry some rest, but you do have to account for that double bye week that he's going to have this season. Also, I would say that you got to worry about when he gets traded. Does he get traded right before the deadline? The 31st would be on what day? What day is the 31st? Tuesday. So most likely the trade would happen. It could happen like on the 27th or 28th, and then him not play that week. So there's a lot of factors. I would say at the end of the day, Monty's probably got more value. I think it's high risk, high reward to trade Monty for Henry, especially if you're trading it on spec that Henry even gets traded. And as for Tajay Spears, there's a reason Tajay is at the top of our waiver wire list every single week, the entirety of the season, and the 2 preemptive waiver wire shows we did before week 1. And we come here and we say to ourselves, what's the odds of a player being the top pickup of the year? Every time we do the waiver wire show, we put the highlighted 1 or 2 or 3 players on the screen and we say, okay, what are the odds that Spears is the top pickup of the year if he's available right now? And I'd have to say 9 is a pretty safe assessment if he is starting by himself, right? You could even say he's potentially a 10. He's potentially the number 1 pickup of the year in hindsight. You have this information now. If he's a lone starter in his backfield, he's a fantastic player. He's also kind of matchup proof because he catches the ball so well. So if they're down and throwing the football, then you got to love, this opportunity here for Spears. So 9 or 10 in terms of being the best pickup of the year, I think you could say. And, you just got to pick what risk level you're taking by avoiding, let's say, and the waivers have already processed, but like in the case of this week, you're going in and Downs is there, and you need a wide receiver really bad. And Spears is there too because it's a grandma league. You had to make kind of a decision on whether you go for the now value in Downs, the every week value that you get out of that, or the sleeping giant Spears value that also gives you some flexibility. For sure, if let's say, you're by Mageddon, there's a couple by Mageddons this year, and you have to make a decision on, okay, well, what am I doing this week? I have no RB. Spears can help serve a purpose there no matter what. So there's that. Kenneth Walker did not participate in practice. This is not a big deal. This is like maintenance. Zach Charbonnet was limited in practice, so if anybody's freaking out about that, I'll put this on screen here too because I saw some chatter in the chat about it, and I just want to make sure that we are attacking this because people are talking about it, and when people are talking about it, it is my job to bring it up and either shoot it down. It doesn't matter if it's a concern. It needs to be talked about and addressed. Actually, let's get off this screen here and go back to the other screen that we were on and drop the news on screen here. Kenneth Walker Cab did not practice Wednesday. Not a major concern, okay? Could it develop into something? Anything's possible, but I'm not concerned at this moment in time. Lockett did not participate in the team's Wednesday practice. They're doing a lot of maintenance days with everybody, so don't be too ultra concerned there. Isaac, hopefully I answered that question. Thank you for your $20 hauler, Isaac. You are the man, and I think I owe you a $20 set, bro.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
8, 9, 10. Appreciate you, my boy Isaac. Lego Batman with a $20 hauler. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
I'm going to stop at 8 on that one. Oh, that set was so close to the other. I could only get the 8 in because I felt like I was just doing 18. Joseph Smith with a 20 watt on screen. Joseph says Mahomes, Kyler, Bijan, Swift, Javonte, Roshan, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Ridley. Be patient with Smith and Ridley, my guy. Laporta, Kincaid. You have potential trade value in your double tight ends and your double quarterbacks, broski. Should I hold or advise moving someone? Move. Keep Mahomes. Don't sell Mahomes. Sell Kyler. If you've got to wait a week, wait a week. But Kyler and your extra tight end I'd even shop Laporta over Kincaid because you'll get more. Thoughts on buying low on Hollywood with Kyler coming back? I don't mind it, but it depends on what you're selling. Like if you got rid of Laporta for Hollywood, I don't know if I like that, but it's, you could get something else in return. Or maybe if they needed a quarterback, you could send them, I don't know. Joseph, your team's good enough that you don't necessarily need to make this move. I like Ridley and Devontae Smith and Garrett Wilson enough. But like London and Kyler for, a monster, you could swing pretty big. I think, and get like a Bijan for that. Honestly, I think you could get Achane pretty easily. I think you could get Breece Hall in that package. It just depends on if they need a quarterback, or go to the quarterback needy teams and see what you can do. Go to the tight end needy teams and see what you can do. But you absolutely have two unbelievably good pieces to move. And with your luck, hopefully one owner needs both a quarterback and a tight end. And then you just get your pick. You can have one player like Breece Hall, one player like JT. You could give up something like London to get Cooper Kupp. Give up Laporta, Kyler, and London and get Cooper Kupp. You could easily, or Eckler, you could easily give up 3 guys to a team that needs both a quarterback and a tight end, and they'd be vulnerable to you because they need so much, and you can help them fill those voids. And that was a 20.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
8, 9, 10. We're going to the hammer curls now. Yvonne, appreciate your 20. Just hear me out. Traded JJ. Look, maybe this is going to end well for you, Yvonne, but whenever someone says, hear me out, or hey, just wait a minute, let me explain what I did, it's usually bad. I haven't even looked at it yet. It's usually bad because there's justification already being inserted into the equation. So let me read this off by letting the computer tell the story, because this one's going to be interesting.
Avansu purchased $19.99 from Avon. Just hear me out. Traded JJX Higgins for Addison X Flowers. The league is annoying, man. There's been no trades in 7 weeks, so the fact this guy replied is crazy. 2, 5, and 10th. The trade is horrible, but I need points, Smitty.
I wish you would have come to me, though. I like Addison a lot, broski. I love the way he's looking right now. I admit he looks phenomenal. And it's not just, like I said the other night, it's not just that the stats are there, the opportunities there. He looks great. He matured. He took a huge maturity step forward. But you can't trade JJ and add Higgins. I don't like it. I think you get more. This is one of those things where it's like, I needed to make a move. I know you need to make a move, but I don't know that this was the move to make. I'm not going to send you on a lap or anything, Yvonne. You're an amazing super chatter. I appreciate you, but I can't in good conscience approve this trade. But of course I don't, Smitty, disapprove you, but I don't like the trade. But I'm hopeful that this thing works out for you in some way, shape, or form. Let me put it this way. Even if, here's the problem though. Even if, let's say, JJ didn't return, just for whatever reason, things didn't go well, it kind of looks good for you, right? But you still could have got more. And I know you're saying you tried. I would say, man, I just can't Smitty approve it though, Yvonne. I appreciate you with the super chat though. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Yvonne to the moon. Yvonne to the moon.
To the moon.
And Yvonne, call in a little bit and we'll discuss this, okay? We'll maybe hammer out some other idea. $20 hauler from my boy, that boy.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
9, 10. Hey, and Yvonne, I don't want, Yvonne, you're my boy, Blue. TMT 8-month YouTube exclusive member.
To the moon.
Appreciate you. Yvonne, you're my boy, Blue. I want you to know that. Call in and we'll figure something out with your team. That boy, 2 QB, 3 wide receiver, 10-man, 1 and 6. Team is Love, Wilson, Olave, Devontae, Puka, Walker, Saquon, Kincaid, bench, Gibbs, Garoppolo. I've made a lot of trades to get into this lineup. Lost JJ and AR5. Hold, pray, or make moves. Olave, Devontae, Puka. Like it. It's a good team. I would say hold. Bijan, you got a good team. You got a real good team. I would try my best to upgrade Love into Tua. You might even want to do that after this week if Tua does bad and doesn't have his, as good of a week number 8 as we want. Maybe he's a good buy low. Burrow, maybe Burrow struggles somehow. I have a feeling Burrow is going to ball out against the Niners this week. I have a feeling Burrow is going to have a day, but you know what I'm saying? There's opportunity to do this next week. I also like Love enough. I know people are upset at him. They hate him. But Tua's definitely a guy I'm trying to get right now. I also am trying to trade out of Saquon. So like Saquon to Eckler, Saquon to JT, Saquon into Hall, Saquon into Achane and a wide receiver, or maybe 2 running backs, whatever. Those are moves I'm trying to make, that boy. But past that, it's a stand-down kind of team. Ty Lee with a 20 wad.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Man. 8. 9. Oh, God. The closeness of these sets is what's killing me here. Tylee, Burrow, Stroud, Wait a minute. Burrow. Tylee, call in immediately. DC Hogs, 12-month membership question. Flex Dell, Davis, Rojo, or Spears. If Roshan Johnson plays, but probably say, Spears. But if Roshan plays, Roshan. Dell's crafty too. Dell might be the safest play. Tylee, call in immediately. Tylee says Burrow's figured out, or he's got film on the guy. How in the hell do you own Joe Burrow on your team, Tylee? This is what we need to know. I thought you were the biggest Joe Burrow doubter on the planet. Stroud, Etienne, Walker, Achane, Kyron Williams. Maybe you trade Kyron Williams. I don't know if you need to. You could start. Maybe you could start 4 running backs. If you can, then you don't need to trade anybody. Olave, Waddle, Pittman. This is a great team. There's nothing to do here. This is be patient with it. Unless you're trying to trade like Waddle and Kyron for Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Diggs, and maybe you're throwing in something like a Jacoby or a McLaurin, like those moves. I'm good. Keep Olave, but Kyron Waddle, Kyron Pittman, Kyron Garrett Wilson, throw in McLaurin, get a top 4 wide receiver. That's what I'm talking about, broski. Man, I can't believe Patrick says slower is better. I try and bro, but with the timer, I gotta roll. I would love to hear Tylee's explanation. Perps with a $20 hauler. Perps.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perps. Smitty, your thoughts on me trying to work a trade for Tua? I'm 5-2, 12-man PPR, Minshew, Fields, Pollard, Gibbs, Tyreek, Ayuk, Michael Thomas, Rashee Rice, Flowers, bench, Foreman. I like it. I feel like Foreman, Connor, Rashee Rice, even though I like him, Flowers, even though I love him, all very movable pieces to try and get your Fields into Tua. The problem you're going to have, my broski, Fields isn't ready to play, And so in that situation, this owner has to have another backup plan at quarterback. If they do, then you're golden. Then you can package all of those guys. You could do Ayuk and Foreman and get Tua from an owner that has Tua and another quarterback. But if they only have Tua, Minshew is not attractive enough because you don't know how long he's going to be under center. Is he going to stay healthy? He always gets hurt. So it's tough. Like, you could try. Would I give Minshew and Ayuk and Foreman and throw in Rashee Rice or throw in Connor? Absolutely. I think you get a quarterback and it's game over in some degree for some of your. Well, I wouldn't say game over. I would say you're sitting pretty. You're back in the top 5 or 6 for your league, in your league. So Perps, I'd definitely be trying that, but it does very much depend on if this guy doesn't have another quarterback. He has zero interest in getting Fields from you because he's waiting on him. He can't wait on him. Tua 3-4. Tua is 3-4. The team who has Tua. Okay, here it is. Perfect. Let me put these both on screen. So you read my mind. This guy dropping another $20 to explain. He knew he read my mind. He knew what I was going to ask him. That's how much of a avid watcher and subscriber this guy Perps is. He's an absolute monster. Coming in strong with the double. He double-deckered me. Tua, Jacobs, Swift, Lockett, Kelsey, Samuel, Moss, his bench is Love. There you go. Love Stroud. He can do this. This is a good setup for you. The question is, does he need RBs? He's got Swift and Jacobs. He probably feels pretty okay with that, but I bet he's a little worried about Swift. Smith, Lockett. You know what I'm doing if I'm you? I'm trading Ayuk for Devontae Smith. I bet you he thinks that's even or an upgrade on his end. And then you're throwing in Foreman. You're throwing in potentially Rashee Rice or Flowers, whatever he wants to get your Tua upgrade. And you could throw him back a quarterback. Maybe he doesn't even want one back. But if you throw Fields back in, that will help make it look a little bit more heavy. But I would definitely try, bro. I would definitely try if I'm you. Minshew's not bad for this week, and maybe Fields does rebound, so don't panic this week and do a bad trade, giving up like a Pollard or something like that. But would I trade Ayuk for Devontae Smith straight up anyway? I would. But if you can leverage that, because Devontae Smith's been so bad, leverage that to go upgrade him into Ayuk, then all of a sudden, bro, you've got a little bit of wiggle room. Throw in Connor. I know Connor should be back. He might be interested in that, Perps. I definitely would explore that for sure. Tua's the cheapest, buy low, top 6 quarterback in fantasy football right now. So it's definitely a good move to make, I think, if you need a QB pretty badly. We got Ryan with the $20 hauler. Ryan, appreciate you. We got George P with a $20 wad on screen. Appreciate both of you. Ron Navy, thanks again for this super chat. That was, I think, the last $20 hauler after those ones. And then G-Money coming in with a $20 hauler. Appreciate you, G-Money. I think I'm caught up on dragging $20 haulers onto my screen. Let me just take a gander. Okay, and then I'll get to the rest of the super chats here in a second. George with a 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Hold on. We gotta try and find the other what do you call them? These right here. I need to find the other set. I got one here. I guess I could just take this one off. Let's take this one off, and let's use this, because I have a feeling that I'm going to explode my arms if I keep doing the same thing over and over. So let's try it again.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That's my boy, George. Georgie boy. Appreciate you, Georgie. Georgie to the moon. Traded Swift and Laporta for Bijan and Flowers. That could go either way, but I still believe in Bijan to an extreme degree.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Jorge, we got it right here. We already talked about the Walker news. It's maintenance at this point. You know, maybe something pops up, but right now, don't freak out. Team is now T-Law, Bijan, Gibbs, Chase, Olave, Goddard, Addison, Flowers, Ridley, Monty, Ford, Achane, Fields. Who should I package, upgrade QB, or go get Hall? I would definitely contemplate using Gibbs to get Hall if it's at all possible. You know, would I trade away? The problem is you don't have a ton of trade value in Olave. You don't have a ton of trade value in Ridley. Monty's kind of hard to trade right now. Would I try and use Monty and like, let's say Goddard, and then you go see if Kincaid's on waivers or whoever, and use that tight end, you know, value if he needs a tight end. If you're lucky enough that he needs a tight end, Monty and Goddard could maybe get you Hall. Quarterback upgrade, same concept, man. I mean, look, if you can get into a doubted Josh Allen right now, or I mean, really, it's really Josh Allen or Hurts. Really, I don't know that there's many quarterbacks I would say are worth giving up like a Monty. I think that's almost too much. He's hurt though right now. He should be back If he doesn't come back this week, he'll be back next game, I believe. And so you got to contemplate it because Monty's hurt. I mean, if you got Josh Allen for Monty and you gave up your quarterback, let's say you give up T. Law, to me it's worth it. I think Josh Allen scores that many points for you. Might not be something everybody wants to do. I get that. And on draft day, if Monty was healthy and Josh Allen was healthy, you probably draft Monty ahead of Josh Allen. I get that too. But I also feel like quarterbacks like Josh Allen are grossly undervalued. So I would try and do that. But I also would try and use Monty and some pieces to get Breece Hall. Sure. I also think you got to wait on Achane. Don't trade him. And I think Devontae Smith could be your friend in this situation. I think, it's too early to say divide and conquer like Bijan or Chase. I just kind of let it ride. Gibbs is very attractive to hold and trade depending on what you can get. So Gibbs and let's say Gibbs gets you that quarterback upgrade. I do that too. I'd trade Gibbs away to get Josh Allen. I'd trade Gibbs away to get Jalen Hurts. It just makes good sense, my bro. G Money with a 20 wad.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Woo! Woo! G Money. Hey Smitty, this team is 2-5 in a 12-team half PPR league. QB Purdy, Minshew, Fields. I mean, Minshew's your starter right now. That's rough. Swift, Javonte, Gibbs, Sharps. I mean, Gibbs is stepping up big. Hopefully Swift continues. Allen, Keenan Allen, Pickens, Watson, Ferguson. This one's tough, bro. Any trade fix here? This one's tough. This is going to be tough to potentially get out of. I'm just going to be up front with you. It's a rough one. I think Gibbs really hit you hard, and it did me in a lot of leagues too. And I wish Gibbs was firing off on all cylinders before last week. I don't know if he continues. I'm hopeful, but I would say this team's more of a let it ride. Unless you can take Keenan Allen, and I hate to tell you to do this, and I know the complaining Caleb's going to be like, he's telling you to trade Keenan Allen. He can't win. G Money, no offense, but you got to do something, right? You know this, so that's why you're asking. Try and trade him. Try and trade Keenan Allen for that wide receiver that's ultra doubted. There aren't too many of them left. You have Olave already, right? Don't you? You have Olave already? Gives Keenan Allen. No, you don't. Okay, so Olave's one of them. He's just been arrested. He's very attractive, attainable. Olave, Devontae Smith right here. Even Ridley, but Ridley commands more of a higher end player in the two players, the second player that you're getting back. So you're trading away Keenan Allen and you're getting Ridley and freaking Achane. You're getting rid of Keenan Allen, you're getting Devontae Smith and maybe a running back that is a little bit lesser, but like Aaron Jones is an example. I would probably go to the Aaron Jones owner, the Olave owner, the Taylor owner, the Devontae Smith owner, the Ridley owner, the Achane owner, and cook up some sort of two players for your one, broski. I really think it's fixable. It's just it requires that one move, that one fantastic move that no one saw coming. That everybody says, damn it, G Money's back in the saddle, baby. Ryan with the $20 holler. Thank you, G Money. Ryan.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
The bands are kind of good. Like the weights, I'm put out on the weights right now. Like I'm just spent. But when I go to the bands, I can do it again. So like the bands just work it a different way. Kind of nice. I'm feeling like the guns are getting there. I'm feeling like the guns aren't cut yet, but I feel like the tries are coming in a little bit better. I need to work shoulders way more. Without working shoulders, you can't see the definition at all. I need to do a better job of shoulders. I hope I'm motivating even one person to start working out. You guys are literally turning me, hopefully, into a ripped machine by Halloween night, the trade deadline in the NFL. We've got today, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 7 days, including today. 7 days left for your boy to get absolutely ripped. I think we're getting there. We're 7 days away. I've noticed a little change the last couple days, too, so I think we're like at that point where things are pumping. 20 jump ropes next. I can't jump rope in my studio. I'll rip things off the wall, but I do have a jump rope, and I need to do that at night. Ryan, 14-team PPR. Team is Herbert, Eckler, Monty, Puka, Diggs, Laporta, Rice, Flex. Okay. If Monty is out this week, should I start Roschon, Foreman, Henderson, running back 2? It's going to probably be between Foreman and Roschon. Henderson's not bad, though. They're all pretty equal. I think we just need to hear the moment we have any news. Unfortunately, I can't answer this right now, but my advice is to, once you hear the news that one of these two teams is leaning heavily toward one player, then we know. Like, hey, the buzz is Henderson's gonna get a bulk of the carries. Boom, there it is. Or hey, Foreman's back, but he's gonna be limited. I'm sorry, Roschon's back, but he's gonna be limited. Boom, Foreman. So I think we're at the mercy of the news, and I can't really answer that one quite this very second. Let me put this back up. Did I miss another question in the super chat? That was G Money. Thank you, G Money. Appreciate you. What was this last super chat here? This is Oscar. Appreciate your $20 hauler. Ryan, I think this was Ryan's. Ryan, did he have anything else? If Monty does play, should I flex one of those over Rice? Okay. Probably it depends on the news. If the news is like Roschon is going to explode, then of course, yeah. But Rice is safer for right now. Thank you, my guy. And Oscar with a $20 hauler. 5-2, 12-team half PPR. Hurts, Walker, Kamara, JJ, Amon-Ra, Goddard, London, Hopkins. Nice team here. Not much running back depth. Got offered B-Rob and Waddle for Kamara. Not even close.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
9, 10. Not even close, bro. Kamara's a top 5 running back. Kamara's a top 5 running. Alvin Kamara and Kenneth Walker. I don't even know which player is worth more. You know what I mean? That's how good Kamara is right now. So don't let somebody steal away the hard-earned work that you put in. Neighbors, thank you for that 20 wad, by the way. Neighbors just sent Brees, Olave, Nico, Rashad for Bijan, Diggs, Shaheed, Chuba. Absolutely. I mean, look, I hate trading Brees away. You're getting Bijan. You could even wash that out of the trade, and you're getting Diggs for all that other stuff. Do it live.
You've just been Smitty approved.
That's easy peasy, bro. That stuff's it's cakewalk stuff right there. Neighbors, appreciate you dropping the wad. Brady, Tyreek Hill, and Roschon for JT Keenan Cooper. Now that's a tough one. Chat, can I get a vote on this? In a vacuum, are you doing this? In a vacuum, are you doing this? Izzy says, did I get robbed for Kamara? I don't know, Izzy. I don't see the question. Is Brady doing this trade or not? I mean, JT Keenan is a lot. That's a lot. And I know Tyreek is on another level, but I don't think Brady'd be asking if he was 5-2. This is tough. I mean, this is a lot of value to get. It's a lot of value. We got Tyreek, Cooper or Amari. Or Cup or Amari. Come on, Sean. Cup by a mile, bro. What are we doing there? Kyler Murray or Love rest of season? Kyler, bro. JT Keenan side for Mike. Mike says Keenan JT side. What's the chat think here? I kind of feel like this is more even than JT side. There we go. Here's my advice, Brady. If you can't win with Tyreek, this is pretty damn good. So I'm going to say take it. I'd try and keep Roschon out. I'd try to make it a 3-for-1. That would be my little tweak. But if you can't win with Tyreek, that's a great offer. If you can win with Tyreek, don't move. Don't try and fix what isn't broken. I have Fields, AJB, Garrett Wilson, Lockett, Hopkins, Bijan, Walker, Pacheco, James Cook. Should I trade a running back for wide receiver 1? I think that it depends on... Okay, so you got Bijan, Walker, Pacheco. I'm not trading Bijan. I'm not trading Pacheco. Would I trade... I'm sorry, Walker. I'm not trading Walker. I'm not trading Bijan. Would I trade Pacheco for, let's call it, if we go to our buy list, Pacheco for Cup? Obviously, probably not going to get done. However, someone in the chat just said, do we like Amari Cooper or Cooper Cup more? So I have a feeling that Cup, you want to try. I have a feeling Cup is grossly undervalued right now, coming off a bad game, and everybody's got amnesia about what he did the previous games. Yeah. So Tyreek. Let's see what Isaac said here. Izzy said Smitty trade for Kamara was Kamara and Pickens for Pollard, D. Smith, and Ford. Kamara and Pickens for Pollard, D. Smith, and Ford. I think there's arguments to be made on both sides of that trade. I would say it's pretty dead even. If anybody's saying you got worked, I mean I respect their opinion, but I don't think you got worked. I think there's pros and cons to both sides of that trade. I don't think there's anything wrong with liking Pollard over Kamara or Kamara over Pollard. That's what I was saying earlier. Kamara's in that weird tier now where it's like, is he top 3 or 4 or 5? He probably is, but so is Pollard. So yeah. So anyway, reading some of the questions here, they're like, do I start Amari Cooper or Cup, or who do I like better long term? I'm telling you, Cup is more available than people think. But yeah, Pacheco for Olave, Pacheco for St. Brown. I don't think you'll get that. You might have to add more, but certainly something you could toy around with. Cooper Cup, add a little more. Lamb straight up for Pacheco, or add a little bit more. Sure. I don't mind that at all. Your wide receivers aren't horrible, though. AJB, Garrett Wilson, and like D-Hop, it's not bad. You know what I'd do if I was you, Tucker? Instead of that, I'd give up a bench piece running back that I don't see here, but with Lockett and Hopkins for Devontae Smith. Lockett and Hopkins for D. Smith. Lockett or Hopkins for Ridley, and just leave your RBs alone. Because I think that's doable. Hunter with a $5. Guy wants my Bijan for Brees. Even Steven, I don't even know what to tell you. Other than if I had Bijan in one league and Hall in another, I'd be content. And I don't know that I want to swap either one of them. That tells me it's even, right? Recent Arthur Smith comments have me scared. What kind of player should I ask for in addition to Brees? I think it's even. Of course, I would try and get some sort of wide receiver upgrade into Devontae Smith, into Ridley, scrub wide receiver playing well into Ridley. I try and do those moves and make it a complex but crafty 2-for-2. But honestly, bro, I don't know why you're freaking out about Bijan. What about Arthur Smith's comments are concerning you? Arthur Smith didn't say anything other than he's an idiot, but he didn't say anything that sounds like, oh, we're going to start using less of Bijan. It was a headache situation. It was handled very poorly. Overcome, a member for 16 months on the YouTube exclusive membership. Overcome. Appreciate you. I wouldn't be worried about Arthur Smith as much as, Bijan's time's coming. So is Breece Hall's, though. So they're very even. Achane and a wide receiver for Bijan is also something I'd explore, though, Hunter. Just depends on the other player, but I wouldn't go getting rid of Bijan for anything but Hall. JT and something maybe. Kamara straight up, sure. Walker straight up, sure. But you can't sell Bijan lower than that kind of value. Hey, Smitty, might have to take a lap, but I'm thinking of starting Josh Downs instead of Devontae Smith. No, there's no lap needed on that. I think that we need you to bench Devontae Smith so he can go crazy. So if anything, you're taking one for the team recovery, and we salute you for that. Thank you very much. We need you to do this. Do this for us. I think that, look, Devontae Smith is a guy I'm not giving up on, but you putting in Downs, who's playing hot, Minshew and Downs have a connection, amazing, and it makes sense. It's logical. Why? Because, look, Minshew was a backup, and he was throwing to a rookie, and they're building rapport together, and so that's why this rapport is amazing. That's why Pickett was such a good rapport with Pickens. And a lot of times that happens. A rookie quarterback or a younger quarterback, or in the case of Minshew, a backup quarterback that is not expected to be the long-term starter. These quarterbacks on the shelf find a connection with a wide receiver that's either the elite rookie that soon will become great, or the second-year guy or third-year guy or whatever that isn't quite broken out yet. And so this rapport is phenomenal between these two, Gardner Minshew and Downs. So you're not taking a lap at all, but I wouldn't be surprised if you regretted it on either side. You know what I mean? You go with one and then the other one blows up. They're both good. Just keep an eye on, be patient with Devontae Smith in terms of like trading him or something like that. Appreciate you very much. Not a take a lap question at all. Maya Lave and Henderson for JJ. I would take that. I would take JJ. Smitty approved that. He's a week closer to coming back. He looked motivated with his team. His team's winning. Things are changing. Every week that we get closer to JJ potentially returning, it's a smart move.
You've just been...
And for all the confused Calebs out there that have no clue what buy low and sell high means, JJ is a buy and a sell. Let me repeat that for all the bennies in the back. JJ is a buy low or buy medium or buy not high but buy, near fair market value, whatever you want to argue, and he's also a great sell. Your vantage point will determine whether you can hold him or whatnot. Deshaun Watson will be spending the week rehabbing. For anybody that isn't aware of what's going on with Deshaun Watson, he is not going to play in week 8. Deshaun Watson is he's in shambles. His bruisey poo got a little worse potentially. They did a scan, and it doesn't appear to be anything more than we got the Duke became a YouTube exclusive member. Duke, appreciate you, but Deshaun Watson will be rehabbing his shoulder. His bruise is feeling a little more bruisey than normal. My Lave, go get that JJ side of the trade. Again, for anybody confused about it, you could buy and sell JJ, depends on your vantage point. Eckler, Ridley, and Christian Watson for Tyreek. That's way too much, bro. Look, Eckler, you could argue, is behind Tyreek, sure, but someone could say, hey, with the running back climate, the way the running back climate is, do I go ahead and take Tyreek and turn him into Eckler and something significant to me, even though he might be doubted or lowly ranked to other people? Example, like Ridley. Like, would you trade Tyreek for Eckler and Ridley? Tyreek for Eckler and Devontae Smith? Tyreek for Eckler and Pickens? Tyreek for, yeah. And so you get Ridley and Watson and Eckler, and you can't win with Tyreek. This is one of the best offers you're going to get. Do I think you should do it if you're winning with Tyreek? The answer is probably no. I'm going to say stand down if you are dominating. But if you are struggling, you got to make a move, and this is a very decent offer for you. Trade Stevenson and Love for an elite QB. Abso-freaking-lutely. Tua, Burrow, hopefully Josh Allen, one of those guys. Those are elite QBs. Other QBs, I don't think they're worth potentially giving up the Stevenson potential. And I say potential because there's no lock whatsoever for him to rebound to form. Asan with a $5 hauler cards. Bleacher Report tweet saying medical clearance first followed by how ready he feels as far as Murray. Yeah, we're definitely not there yet, but he's on his way, potentially. There's the potential that he plays week 8. The news is really new and fresh on it, but what is the most giving up for Roshan Pittman? Dome, I don't know if I understand this real clearly here. What's the most you're giving up for Roshan Pittman? I think Roshan is ambiguous, my guy. I don't know that I can confidently say he didn't shard his opportunity away. He may have taken a deuce right on his opportunity. Now, if he's cleared, fully ready to go, they're going to start him, then there's an opportunity. And Pittman would be worth it. But at this moment right now, I don't know that Pittman's worth a little bit more, because we could hear tomorrow that, yeah, Roshan's going to play, but Foreman's earned the job. And now Roshan's got 2 weeks without Khalil, and Roshan's got the starting job for the 2 weeks. And then what's Roshan worth? So I would say at this moment in time, Pittman's worth more. But if you need an RB badly, it's not like a bad move. I just don't know that that's the exact move. I lived in Pinal County last time the D-backs won. You did? I didn't know you were in Arizona. Slayer to the moon.
To the moon.
I would sit here and celebrate the D-backs in tremendous fashion, but that would be very bandwagon-ish of me because I'm not a huge baseball guy. But I will say, hey, whenever Arizona's doing good, business is booming, and I live right down the street from the Diamondbacks stadium. It's from the ballpark. I live literally right down the street. I'm like, I could jog there in like 4 minutes. Thomas, yo, Smitty, appreciate the work. Listen from work every day. PPR, need one. First of all, appreciate you, Thomas, listening from work every day. Need one running back, 2 flex. You're probably going to go Hendo. You're probably going to go Foreman. And you're probably going to go Aaron Jones for now. The only thing that would make me swap Watson in is if we heard amazing reports. Right now, we're seeing close to that because he's in practice doing everything. But who would I take out? I think I'd take out Foreman if the news was confusing. Like Foreman and Roshan are going to split, and then we're like, you know what I mean? But right now, I would leave Watson out. It's a safe move. But we're beholden to the updates on Roshan and Foreman. What's up? Hitting that thumb up button emoji. What about hitting that thumb up emoji? 300 people and less than 100 likes. Yeah, we've got now 513 people and only... How many thumbs up do we have? 138. Those are rookie numbers. Pump those rookie numbers up. Let's get to 200 bills. Appreciate you, perps, coming in strong. We've got another 20 watt in here. I think that was Ron's old one. Ron, appreciate your $20 holler again. And I have a 20 watt from Perps again. God, Perps is coming in strong tonight. Perps is doing his imitation of Selly. I mean, has anybody seen Perps and Selly in the same room? Selly was a monster the other night. Selly went to like legend status the other night just because he was like in like a 18-minute period. He dropped like $400. Perps, now that there's 530 people watching and only 126 thumbs up, just check the button, guys, or click the button. God, I can't read today. Just click the button. Easy to do and costs you $0. Smitty grinds for us 24/7, 365, and puts in the work. Let's show him some love. Smitty to the moon. Thank you, Perps, for dropping another $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
11. Let's go. 15, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Appreciate you, Perps. Perps with another. This is $5. What about hitting that thumb up hip button, people? Oh, that was the same one. Slayer, Mighty Law, and Pickens, too much for D. Smith. No, but Pickens does deserve to be in the same bucket, if not even ranked higher than Devontae Smith right now. Pickens is unbelievable. You know, like, Pickens almost deserves his own emoji. I want Devontae Smith a tiny bit more, but I almost feel very apprehensive about saying that. I would say it this way, Slayer. If you've got a lot of Ron Navy dropping another 20 gifted memberships, Ron Navy to the moon. Ron Navy says, Selly and Perps, you ain't outdoing me today. Ron Navy dropping 20 gifted memberships. Look at everybody getting these gifted memberships right now. Thank your boy Ron Navy if you got one. I'd be hesitant. I'm hesitant to tell you that to make this trade. I would say this, Slayer, if you've got a lot of shares of Pickens, and I imagine you do because Pickens was the Fantasy Football Show guy, I'm okay doing this move because you get some diversity. If you don't have a lot of Pickens, damn, I don't know, maybe you just hold him because he's so good, bro. He's so good. He's a highlight reel. He's one of the best receivers in the National Football League. I'm not saying he's top 5 NFL wide receiver yet or anything, but imagine if he had, and Ron Navy, put your earmuffs on. Imagine if he had a different quarterback. Ron's going to be so pissed off on that one. It's not that Pickens and Pickett isn't a good connection, but imagine if he had hey, let's do this. Imagine if he had Cousins. Imagine if he had a spoon-feeding quarterback that and he kind of spoon-feeds him to the degree Pickens does. And it's not really even Pickens' fault. Let me wheel that back so Ron doesn't get too upset. It's kind of like, imagine if he had Pickens with a better play-calling scenario. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Pickett. It's Pickett with this play-calling. It's very They throw enough to him. I don't know. Ron giving another 10 gifted memberships. Ron to the moon.
To the moon.
Ron Navy says, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet, Ron says. Thank Ron for your gifted membership. I would say if you've got a ton of shares, I don't mind it. But if you didn't, I would say I'd almost rather keep Pickens. But I love Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith's one of the best buy low players in fantasy right now. So I love both of them. $10 hauler, $10 haulers. Get a moonshot. My boy James coming in strong tonight. Tua, Bijan, Gibbs, Keenan, Thielen, Waddle, Waller. Benches Aaron Jones, Olave, Dell, Hopkins, Higgins, Algier, Kincaid, Achane. 5-2. Win now team. Offer for Breece Hall should be... do I offer for Breece Hall? Should I add a 24 first rounder or hold? Offer for Breece Hall for what? Bench Aaron Jones. Add a first rounder. For what though? You said add a first rounder. What are we offering here? James, maybe there was another super chat or something. If you can include everything in the same super chat if you could, because I have no idea what we talked about previously. But if I'm trying to get Breece Hall here for Bijan, was it Bijan? Was that the conversation we had? So this is Dynasty? I don't know if you mentioned that before. They're both amazing. They're both top 2 or 3 running backs in Dynasty, though. If this is Dynasty, I have no concerns about Bijan. I'm not even trading Bijan. I love Breece Hall. He's top 5 overall maybe in Dynasty, but Bijan might be 1 overall in Dynasty. So given there's first rounders involved, I'm going to say no, bro. I'm going to say keep Bijan. Don't trade Bijan at all. I think that's what we're talking about, James. If I have that wrong, I apologize, but I think that's what we're talking about. Just Sherman, trade Pickens for Kyler. I'm 2-4 T-Law owner. Absolutely. I love Pickens, bro, but you need a quarterback. You can't win without a quarterback. And I'm not saying T-Law can't get it done, but Kyler's a difference maker. As much as I give him crap for his leadership, he's a top 5 to 7 quarterback in fantasy. He always has been. He's 20 points a game. You know, the stats tell you he's a top 5 to 7 quarterback every single game. Ken Walker, cab bothering him. Yeah, we got that right here, Asan. Not a concern right now. Maintenance issue. Pete Carroll rests a lot of his guys. Lockett, Charbonnet is limited. Everybody's limited on Pete Carroll's roster. Warzone Kyler is coming. Smitty looks like ABS or something else tonight. I'm already exhausted for you.
To the moon.
Perps is coming in strong. Perps to the moon. My boy Perps is a monster. Let's see here. We got another one from Cole. Cole says, just traded away Ridley and James Cook for Achane and Kirk. I love that, bro. I love that trade. Number one, Kirk is out playing Ridley, and I'm a big Ridley guy. But you give me Kirk and Ridley, even if you wash it or you say Ridley's better or you say Kirk's better, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're getting Achane league-winning potential trade, I love it. Absolute smash, bro. And Matt coming in with this one right here. Trade my Terry and Javonte Williams for Jacoby Myers. I'm going to say, if you like Jacoby enough, I'm okay with either side of that trade. I'm very okay with Terry and Javonte personally, but if you love Jacoby and he keeps doing it, then I can't fault you for that. But I Smitty approve whatever you decide. It's very even. Thoughts on my CMC for K9 and Adams? I would take K9 and Adams personally. You got the bye week out of the way for K9. Adams, I definitely shop and continue to shop, but that's really, really solid return if you need a move. If you don't need a move, why in the hell trade Christian McCaffrey at all? So it really does come down to it. How about my Mixon and Ferguson for JT? I would take JT in a millisecond. And I'm not against doing both those trades. Megas with the $10 hauler. $10 haulers get moonshots. Appreciate you, Megas, dropping the fire. Megas says, hey, Smitty, I want JJ. Who doesn't? Megas, who doesn't? Everybody wants JJ. The guy countered with Brees and Mike Evans. Do you think he would do a trade for Mostert and Evans and Addison instead? Or Addison? I don't think he will, because Mostert, you're selling Mostert at his all-time low. Mostert just got kicked in the nuts, bro. And I'm not saying he won't rebound and say, watch me. You know, I had a cup on. I can handle it. Look at me. I'm gonna shine in week number 8. But you're trying to sell Mostert on the low. I don't think he's going to do it. But would I trade Brees and Evans for JJ? No, I would not. I don't want to give up Brees or JT. Mostert, Evans, yeah. He's not. I mean, look, I'd trade JT maybe for JJ. But I don't know if I'd give up Evans on top of it. I think you're trying to force getting JJ a little late, given the value that he's holding, for JJ. So I'd be careful not to overpay because you're late to the party in terms of getting him. Sometimes you just got to let a player go. You know what I'm saying? You can't get a player in every single league. Sometimes the owner is like, I'm not giving him up. We got a couple super chats here. Ron Navy with a $100 hauler. Pickett would be better with a better offensive coordinator. I'm a monster eater. Yeah, I mean, Ron, I did rephrase it because I felt like that was going to trigger you a little bit. Pickett would be better with a better offensive coordinator. So my comment of Pickens, imagine him with a different quarterback. Imagine him with a different offensive situation. And he's still doing amazing. You know what I mean? But it's like, if you put Pickett in Addison's shoes right now in Minnesota, Pickens, not Pickett. If you took the wide receiver Pickens and traded him with Jordan Addison right now and put him in your boy Cousins' spot in that situation, I think Pickens would do what Addison's doing times, 0.5. I think he'd be, I wouldn't say doubling what he's doing because Addison's doing, but Pickens is a monster, an absolute monster. And for that, Ron Navy's a monster, dropping 100. I'm going to do one set on this, Ron. No, I'll do 2. I owe you 2 sets. I don't know if I can do, 5 sets, but we'll do 2. Here we go.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
We'll do 3 sets, Ron. We'll do 3 sets.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I mean, what good's a $100 holler if I'm not going to over deliver on it? I got to do more than 1 set. I did 3. Ron Navy, appreciate you with the $100 holler. Let's go. Ethan with a 20. Ethan says 10-team PPR 5-2. My team is QB Fields, Goff, CMC, JT, Brees, Kyron, Achane, wide receiver Diggs, Chase, Puka, Lockett, Andrews, Laporta. Love the team. Love the team. Love the team. The 0-7 player has Burrow and JJ. Do I move for them or hold? Absolutely. Would I trade Fields and maybe... Honestly, because you have Laporta, I think Andrews and Laporta are your way into one of these situations. I don't know what their situation looks like, but if you gave them Andrews and Fields or if Andrews and Goff for their Burrow, I don't know if that's the best value, but it improves your lineup because I do like Laporta enough. Do I maybe trade? The better move might be... God, I don't know if you... Look, you got Chase, Diggs, and Puka. I don't know that I'm trading... I mean, JJ would be nice. JJ would be nice, but, like, you almost don't have... Maybe Kyron Williams and Andrews. Kyron Williams... He's 0-7, though. He can't take Kyron. JT for J... What about JT and Goff for JJ Burrow? Deal? Deal. I like that one.
You've just been Smitty.
Am I wrong, chat? JT and Goff for JJ and Burrow. Do it live. That would be a good move. That would be a smash, Ethan. Ethan with the 20.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
I can't move my arms. I can't even scratch my back anymore. In order to scratch my back, I gotta go. I'm not saying my guns are that big. I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying, like, when you swell up and you're not used to your forearm hitting your bicep, like I can't move the same. And part of it's swollen. Then Ron Navy drop another 20 gifted memberships by Ron Navy.
To the moon.
Ron Navy's going insane in the chat right now. Ron Navy, please report to the insane asylum. Ron Navy. He's going absolutely bonkers in the chat. 4-3, non-PPR, QB, Stroud, Murray, JJ, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Kirk, Godwin, Rice, K9, James Cook, Aaron Jones, JJ for Flowers, and Brees. I don't like this because I'd rather Brees than JJ. You get more weeks with them. I'd be very tempted to do this if you... I mean, you're 4-3. It's not like you're immune to missing the playoffs or something like that. If you're like 5 or 6 wins, maybe. But I'd rather just have Brees Hall right now. But maybe next week I start looking at this differently. You know, every week we get closer. Don't be shocked if my opinion changes. So appreciate you very much, my guy. Traded Henry plus Waddle for Eckler and T. Higgins. Smitty approved. Although Henry getting traded to Baltimore or Buffalo would be interesting, and it could change it a little bit, but I don't know. I think I'm still going to like that Eckler side.
To the moon.
Thank you, sir. 24, appreciate you. Devo, Hoosiers. $10 hauler gets a moonshot, my boy. Hoosiers coming in like a monster. 12-team PPR. Purdy, Goff, Murray. Attaboy with the Murray, bro. Saquon, JT, maybe shop Saquon. Shop Saquon and Connor to a running back needy team. I know it's a little scary, but you get a running back, get an Achane back. Maybe Wilson Jr., floats for a little bit. You got Achane to come back. I mean, that's what I would potentially do. Of course, Saquon for Achane is not fair. You got to get a Devontae or a Ridley or somebody undervalued. This wide receiver room, you've got, I think I have a chance to win with your help. Reed, Laporta, Joe New, drafted Saquon, AJ Hopkins. I'm a little confused at what we're looking at. Okay, what you drafted and when you, okay. I would just try and trade, if I'm you, I'd try and trade Saquon. That's what I'm trying to do. And to be honest with you, Kyler Murray's going to help save you. And I don't want you to get rid of Saquon for cheap because he has better value this week than he did last week. But if you're able to get that Achane, Devontae Smith, the two players, it puts your team in a very nice positioning. Right now, I feel like you're a player short, right? Cole with a $2 hauler. Cole, I don't see a message attached. I'll try and look for it after, but you got to include it with it because by the time I get to it, your surrounding comments are nowhere near. So please include everything with your message. Appreciate you, Cole. Cole's going to get a moonshot though, in case I can't find his message. Or you could send another message, which it's up to you. But 0.5 PPR, 12-team, $5 hauler from Soshi. Kyler, Allen, Aaron Jones, Kyron, D. Hendy. Let's go. Let's go. Chase Flowers, Ridley. Let's go. Goddard traded Cook and JSN for Goddard, Ridley. I don't mind that on either side. That's very arguable. And I think Ridley is so undervalued right now. I know everybody thinks he's done, but all we need is people to bench him in wide fashion to get him to have a big game. That's just the way it is. I have Burrow, Chase, Stack. Nice job. I like the team, like the trade. I have Burrow, Chase, Stack. Who do I trade Tua for? God, he's sitting on Tua still. Wrong week to sell him, my guy. You got to sell him off of last week. His value was through the roof. Now you got a bad game, and now you're maybe going into a game where Tyreek could sit out, Mostert could be out. I mean, it's a group of players here that you just got to take stabs at. JT, Bijan. Maybe you're giving up a little more to get Bijan, a little more to get JT, but those players are on the board. Swift straight up. Olave straight up. Aaron Jones maybe straight up. Risky, but maybe worth it. Achane straight up for Tua in your situation. Do it live. Devontae Smith, Breece Hall, all straight up. Ridley and something, because Ridley's value is so low, you want to get and something. But Mac, you got to make this move when Tua's popping off. But appreciate you. Rock out with a $5 hauler. Let's go rock out. My bad team is 3-4. Time to panic. Burrow, Love, Walker, Bijan, St. Brown, Olave, Ayuk, McLaurin. No, there's not even anybody I'm like, okay, get rid of him. These are all really good players. You've had a lot of bad luck early on, rock out, but that's a stand down.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
That's a stand down, broski. A hardcore stand down. Cooper with the super. $13.99. Moonshot.
To the moon.
You call him Moonshot Cooper. T-Law, Kyler, Chase, D. Adams, ETN, Walker, Gibbs, Pickens, Rashad. Bijan owner wants ETN, but also has Olave and St. Brown. What should I do? I mean, if you can get Pickens into a St. Brown, I like that. If you could get Rashad White and, let's say, Kittle, and you get like let's say Kincaid's on waivers or something, you figure out how to fill that void in a respectable fashion or manner. I like the idea of bringing over Olave using Rashad White. If you can't get St. Brown using, I mean, yeah, I feel like if you were to trade, because Etienne's worth more than Bijan by quite a bit right now. I don't care what we think Bijan's capable of. The fair market value index says do not trade Etienne. Do not trade Etienne for Bijan. Do not. You need to get a whole boatload more. St. Brown isn't going to just be gifted to you unless you give up Rashad White, Kittle, and he has a need for tight end. If he doesn't have a need for tight end, St. Brown's probably not in play. But Olave might be using Rashad White and Rashee Rice using. Maybe don't even give Kittle in that situation. Maybe you trade Devontae Adams and ETN for maybe St. Brown and Bijan and another piece. That might be a good way to go. Coop, I appreciate you. Ronaldo, 5-2, 10 PPR. Cousins, Diggs, DJ Moore, Watson, Wilson, so on. I want to trade for Higgins and Burrow. What can I offer? Well, my friend, Cousins is a suitable send-away player that might intrigue him a little bit, but I think he's probably going to want something to make that downgrade, right, in his mind, even though Cousins is really arguably, you could say, better, and Ron would say that in here, but I think perception's reality, and he probably perceives Burrow as better, so you're probably going to have to give him something. And is DJ Moore too much to give up for Higgins? Could DJ Moore be better than Higgins? It's still possible. It's possible Higgins is better than DJ Moore. I would venture to say DJ Moore and Cousins for Burrow and Higgins is pretty fair. Would I try and instead give him Sanders and like a freaking Osborne? Of course I would. Would I rather have Addison over DJ Moore right now? Yes. Would I give up Watson instead of DJ Moore? Maybe. But I think that you're going to have to expect to give up DJ Moore. Do Jamar, Mostert, Kyron for Lamb, Swift, Olave. Jamar, Chase, Mostert, Kyron for Lamb, Swift, Olave. Woo! If we try and dissect this a little bit, Cam, and we say Jamar Chase versus Lamb, you're getting a significant upgrade in Jamar. Okay, so you're already ahead of the game, or they're ahead of the game by quite a bit. Mostert and Kyron both injured for Swift and Olave. Does that move the needle enough? And I'd say probably not enough. I'd say Jamar Chase side, but very, very close. Very, very close. But I don't think I'm doing this. I think Jamar Chase is worth too much, and you're not getting enough. Stroud, Mixon for Herbert, Gibbs. I'd rather have Herbert and Gibbs. Not by a mile, but by enough that I didn't really even hesitate. Thank you, my guy. Bruin fan. Trying to send Kirk Cousins, my backup QB, for Waddle or Ayuk straight up. I do either one of those if you need a wide receiver because he is your backup. But there's no disrespect to Cousins. It's just, hey, it's time to beef up the lineup any chance you can get walking into the final half of the season. 10-man from B. Big B says 10-man PPR Hurts, Stroud, Diggs, Amon-Ra, Watson, Rice, Dell, H.N. Pollard. Nice team. I would say probably no moves to be made. This is more of a flex, bro. You're more flexing to us how good your team is. I mean, Hurts, Diggs, Amon-Ra, Pollard, H.N. I mean, how can you get any better? Kittle, the only thing I'd suggest to do is maybe you're upgrading that like Watson into Devontae Smith by giving up a Javonte or Rashad White. Getting I'd even buy Ridley low in this situation. I would. I would be tempted to go get I don't know what RB would be attainable for you. Using like the Rashad White and combo of players, I don't even know. Like maybe I forget. Did you have H-Han? Yeah, you have H-Han. I guess you could go after Pacheco using Rashad White and like Watson, or Kittle and Rashad White for Breece Hall or player in that territory. JT. Very, very good squad though. Pollard for Eckler and get a Devontae Smith from Rice kind of bump, or a Ridley for free. Those are all ideas. Not that I hate Pollard, but, Eckler's bye week free and an attractive go-get player. Smitty was offered JJ for Thielen and Foreman. You take JJ for Thielen and Foreman and you run from the veto police. I am an idiot for thinking about it. 7-0, full PPR. Yeah, bro, you can't say no to JJ for Thielen and Foreman. That's a smash. JJ side by a mile. Like probably the worst trade I've seen for that guy all week. Easily all week. Maybe all month. Rate this trade. Lamb, Pacheco, and Myers for Mostert, Waddle, Olave. Lamb, Pacheco, Myers. I'd rather have Mostert, Waddle, and Olave, but it is very arguable. Because, well, give me the Lamb, Pacheco. No, give me the Lamb, Pacheco, Myers side. Because Mostert and Waddle are both banged up, and Olave just got out of the clinker or whatever they call it, the jail cell. you might want to say, look, take the side that's out there focusing on football and on the field. Lamb side. Don't trade. Lamb. Rate this trade. Lamb. So if you already did it, I would keep Lamb. I think you already did it though, Russo. But hey, I did say the other side at first, so it's not like a crazy lambasting. It's just at the end of the day, I pushed myself on that other side pretty quickly. You stop and think about some of these. Sometimes they feel like they're the right move, and then you start realizing I got to start trading off of not just the nostalgic value of the offseason. 2-5 trade Chase for Hall Ridley. No, Chase is worth more. Look, Ridley's great, but he's a throw-in right now practically. Running back 2 is you got to get more for Chase, man. Chase is worth so much more than that right now, and you got to take advantage of it. I don't mind where you're going with it, but you need more. DeBalt, trying to get JJ. Should I offer Bijan? No. Already have JT. Doesn't matter. Running back 2, wide receiver flex, Puka, Sun God. You got to get more. Bijan is playing football. He didn't last week, but he's playing football now. JJ's not. Unless he has a headache again. If he has another headache, then maybe I trade him. But headache debacle. Unbelievable. That headache situation just bothers me. It gives me a headache. Arthur Smith talking gives me a headache. But look, I shouldn't say it's not like something you... Ron Navy gifted 50 gifted memberships. What in the hell's going on here, Ron Navy? Ron Navy gifting 50 YouTube exclusive memberships like a absolute straight menace. Ron Navy is a menace in the chat tonight. Would the chat rather have JJ or Bijan? I'm assuming they're going to say Bijan. I assume they're going to. Trade D. Adams for Bijan today. I'd rather have Bijan by a hair, but there's some argument to be made here. I don't want anybody to think it's like easy. Trade Amon-Ra for JJ. I'd rather have Amon-Ra. There's a lot of people are trying to buy JJ right now, but like at his not at his exact previous value, but like we're still a little ways away. We got to be careful. We got Bijan, JJ, Bijan, JJ, Bijan. It's pretty torn. We got to be careful not to go after JJ like he's back tomorrow or back next week. Trying to get a running back 2. Trade ideas. I have Rice, T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, Debo. Not a lot of sell high guys, my man. This is not the week to sell these players, unfortunately. Debo is hurt. Devontae's slumping. T. Higgins hasn't really bounced back yet. Mixon, I guess I'm trying to trade Mixon or Hendy. And Mixon, I love the Achane move. I think Pacheco is a great player to try and use using Mixon and one of these guys, JT, Mixon, Hendy, and and potentially Dobbs, I guess, or T. Higgins and Mixon for JT. T. Higgins and Hendy, or T. Higgins and maybe Mixon and maybe Rice for Pacheco. But there's not a lot of great running backs that are available at that price point. You almost have to pay T. Higgins and Mixon value for a running back. If you get lucky enough to get JT on the cheap. We got a lot of JJ by a mile, and then we got some other, I don't know. The JJ question, that's tough. I mean, Bijan or JJ, really, really close. We'll get closer every week. He's closer to getting back. I have two offers on the table, Brees and Thielen for Lamb and the Green Bay backfield. So Aaron Jones and Lamb for Brees and Thielen. I think if you need a move, you're not winning right now at Brees Hall and Thielen, then you maybe make this move just because I think Aaron Jones is a nice bet. But if things are going good, you're like starting to win, you're trending in the right direction, even if you had been losing, maybe you stick it out with Thielen and Brees, bro. Or Brees plus Adams for JJ and Pollard. Now that's something I can maybe get behind. Woo! JJ and Pollard for Adams and Brees. I take JJ and Pollard, and I like that side the best. But that's a tough one.
You've just been Smitty.
That is a tough one, my broski. Thanks again, Ron Navy, for the 50 gifted memberships. If I missed another gifted membership by Ron Navy, I apologize. This is a $20 hauler from Hoosiers coming in like a monster. Hoosiers, appreciate you. Hoosiers to the moon. Hoosiers want Smitty to work out. He says, Smitty, follow up. Guy with Achane has Jacob, Stevenson, Olave, and Ayuk as pieces with real value. Thoughts? Oh, yeah. He's got JJ. It's easy if you guys can include the main question back in it, because I'm not going to recall any of that, and I got to go find the question. But I appreciate you anyway. And you're dropping a 20, so I work for you. What am I saying? $30 at this point. I think I could do a little legwork. I'm sorry, Hoosiers. I'll take a look. Here I am telling Hoosiers, when you send your $30 next time, my bad. If this is a $2 hauler, I would maybe say that. But look at this man dropping $30. All he wants me to do is pull up another super chat. Shame on me! 12-team PPR. Purdy, Goff. Okay, what is this question here? Think I have a chance with your help? I forget what I even advised you, though. So, Achane, I think you were going to get Achane, right? Achane on ours. Jacob, Stevenson, Olave, Ayuk. D-Hop, what are we doing here? I don't know what to advise him on this. I would say probably have to go with a. And this is tough because it's like I don't know how to make this. Rock out, if you can mute real quick, I'll hit you in 1 second. Hopkins and maybe you trade Saquon for Achane and Olave. That's what I would do. And if you got to give up something like Connor or Pittman or JSN or Reed to get it done, Hoosiers, that's the deal. Olave and Achane for your one player. That's probably where I would take this, bro. I like that a lot. I'd even contemplate AJB for Olave and Achane if he wants that instead of Saquon. You could potentially try and do this maneuver twice. Saquon for two players in similar fashion. You know, like Saquon for Brees Hall. Like, I don't know if Brees Hall's got more value than Saquon or Saquon, depending on your league. But you could maybe do this twice over. You could maybe get like a Devontae Smith for your Hopkins. You can maybe get Olave for your Pittman and do the two running back swaps or something like that. So, Hoosiers, appreciate you. I would go after those two moves. I'm sorry if it took me a while to process that. I was trying to piece those two things together. Rock out. You got 30, pal. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I sent you a DM.
Okay, I'll have to pull it up here after I get through all this. Actually, hold on. Let me just do it real quick. Let me see if I can get to it. All right, Rock out's DM.
We hollow back. Give me that canine, you know we vicious. Give me the beach, I'm making defenders look like child's play. That's how we get it on.
Thank you, Rock out. Appreciate you. What else you got? You got anything else question wise? Thank you for your rap.
Yeah, what's Jefferson worth as far as getting back for him?
I mean, it's tough to say, bro. I mean, like if I was trading JJ right now, I would want a boatload because it looks like people are valuing him more than Bijan in a lot of contexts. So like Eckler and maybe something else. Eckler had a bad first game back. People are doubting him. JT and something. Bijan, maybe Bijan and something. Eckler and something. Hall and something. Apparently, based on the way everybody's reacting in the chat when I said Bijan or JJ, and I'm not saying that JJ side people are wrong, I'm just a little shocked that the value of JJ is already at Bijan. So I'm trying to get more than I possibly should get, and I'm starting with Hall, Eckler, Bijan, JT, Cooper Kupp, and if I could get something in addition, I'm doing it. Like, quite honestly, I think the fair market value is Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp struggling last week. Everybody, for some reason, thinking he's going to, like, fall off or whatever. And they're forgetting they have amnesia that he just dropped monster games before that, after his return. Yeah. I think it seems like Cooper Kupp is the standard. Bijan appears to be the standard. Pollard could be the standard. Eckler, struggling on his first game back, could be the standard. Breece Hall in a little bit could be the standard.
All right, I appreciate.
All right, later, Rock Out. Appreciate you. Later.
Cool.
All right, let's get back to these super chats here. David with the $5. David says, I have 2 offers on the table, Breece and Thielen. Oh, I already got to that one. Breece plus Adams for JJ Pollard. JJ and Pollard would be tough to turn down. Man, I really hit myself hard. I got to stop doing that. Got to stop. What, for a laugh? Why clock myself in the face? Why? I don't know why I did it. Why do I keep doing that? 12-team PPR. Hurts, Stroud, Swift, A. Jones, Spears, Pierce, Foreman. Any trade suggestions? Keep up the good work. I probably would say I'm trying to take advantage of the Foreman value. I'm trying to take advantage of, in your situation, the Addison value. Because I'll be honest with you, Fresh. This is one of those Underdog Fantasy. Use code SMITTY. I'll drop the link in the live chat right now. They'll double your first deposit up to $500. It's just, I send this message out in like joking fashion. I don't mean any offense by it, to teams that I feel like I can't fix. Not saying this team is not fixable. But I hope there's someone else here maybe that you aren't listing or you got hit by injury hard. This does not look like a team that's going to win it all. But you're only like 1 move or 2 moves away. Example, and part of that could just be the move is that Aaron Jones is a top 5 running back go forward. Like that could be part of what you need. And Garrett Wilson needs to return to like top 7 wide receiver status or something crazy like that. All certainly possible. But you almost have to trade away Addison on the high somehow, some way. Like, go get you trade Addison and Goddard, pick up Kincaid, and somehow find yourself in an Achane and Ridley return. You know what I mean? Like, you do something like that, and all of a sudden this team's got some legs. Ridley's a great buy low. Devontae Smith's a great buy low. Not saying trade Addison for Ridley straight up or Addison for Devontae Smith straight up, but maybe the guy owns both of them. Maybe you're able to get 2 wide receivers, or maybe you don't even need that because you've got Ayuk and Wilson. It's not like you can fit everybody in there unless you start 4 or 5 wide receivers. Maybe you do, but you probably have to make a move. Achane is probably your friend here. I think you get Achane and a player for Addison and something, and you try and make 2 maneuvers. And then all of a sudden you're back. Like that team is not unfixable, but it is hard to imagine it winning currently, and really not a lot of wiggle room other than Addison in that. Ron with a $20 holler says the chat is inspiring with all the heartfelt emojis. So least I can do is give some memberships. I don't control who gets them. Sorry to those that didn't get one. I'll do one more 50 for 170 total. Good luck and congrats to all who get lucky. Ron Navy spinning the $50 holler YouTube exclusive gifted membership wheel once again. And 50 lucky people out there are going to get memberships right now. Ron, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. Ron gifted another 50. I don't know when he did the second one, but Ron to the moon, 50 gifted memberships. Thank your local Ron Navy for your gifted membership. Thank your local Ron Navy gifting everybody. I think we might have opened up another emoji maybe, and if we did, Ron, I'll give you an Addison emoji. Okay, if we did. I'm not saying we did. If we didn't, then I don't know about in the future. We'll have to see what happens. But if you got one today, I will check when I'm done with the stream. If you opened up a gift, an emoji, we'll put Addison in there. I can't say we'll keep him there all year, but we'll definitely leave him in there for a bit for you. Ron Navy, appreciate your $100 hauler. That requires a set.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Warning.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Oh, man, I really clocked myself good. I'm going to have to use Ron's $99 hauler for the copay. Go to the doc. What'd you do? I hit myself. Oh, yeah, on accident? No. Punched myself in the face on a live stream, Doc. Why'd you do that? I don't know. For fun? Perps with a $50 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
8, 9, 10. Marsman, rock out. Phone lines are closed because you're a Marsman. You can break through. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, I got a trade offer. I would give up Devontae Smith and Aaron Jones, and in return we get in return. Was
come on, rock out.
I'll get Addison and Jacob. And I got JJ.
You have to repeat that. You went away for a while. Smith and Jones for who?
I would give up Aaron Jones and Devontae Smith for Jacobs and Addison, and I got JJ.
No. Jacobs and Addison, I don't want that. I like Addison. I do, but I'd rather have Devontae Smith than Aaron Jones. Close, arguable. And you know what, chat? Put a vote in. It depends how you view Jacobs. If you like Jacobs a lot to bounce back, then probably the Addison Jacobs side will make that person say yes. But I'd probably say for me, I'd rather have I think Aaron Jones could either shot the bed and just take a big dump on the season, sure. But I also feel like he could win you a league. It's close, man. I'm not a Jacobs believer, but it's not so much him, it's the situation, it's the organization, it's everything going on. But I'd love to know the chat vote. Would you rather have Addison and Jacobs or Devontae Smith, Aaron Jones? Vote in the chat. Appreciate your rock out. Call back in if the phone line's open. Appreciate you.
All right.
Okay, let's get to this Perps question here. $50 hauler. Ron's just doing Ron things, nothing new, just marking his territory and letting everyone know he wants to give Lego Batman and Wheel Snipe Selly warning shots that he's back. Yeah, what would be crazy to see Selly versus Ron? And Perps, you're in this conversation too. It's funny that you're trying to like act like these guys are you're doing the same thing. You've been dropping fire all night. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's more like Ron's marking his territory. You're, taking a little leak over in the corner too. I mean, you set up shop here tonight pretty well. Appreciate you dropping that $50 holler, my broski. Love Purdy, Kyler dropping Purdy. Dak available. Love Purdy, Kyler. I mean, look, Purdy should bounce back, man. I think I like Purdy more than Dak. But I don't know. That's hard to say. I think for right now, I don't hate it in case, Purdy's going to be out this week and then they got a bye week. And so I probably would rather have Dak given your waiting. And then maybe you circle back around and pick up Purdy. My CMC for Sun God and Breece Hall. I'd rather have Sun God and Breece Hall if you can't win with CMC. If you've got 3 wins, 2 wins, 1 win, 0 wins. But if you're like 5 wins or 6 wins, then why trade CMC? But I do think that if you're going to make a move, if you have to make a move, if you're a team that can't win with CMC for whatever reason, you've been decimated, that is the best deal you're going to get. $5 hauler from Recovery. Smitty, I got an offer on the table. Bijan for Diggs. I'd rather have Diggs. Doesn't matter what I'm not going to even look at the rest of your team because the fair market value for Diggs is way above Bijan. And it doesn't mean Bijan can't get there. Doesn't mean I won't be rooting for it. But you need to keep that Diggs side or get the Diggs side. I'm not even know what side I'm on. I'm just going to give you my objective take on the 1-for-1. Then you can trade. You can make a move. You can trade Diggs for more. You can make a different move. Diggs over Bijan. This one right here, B-Men. Would you try and get T-Law for London? I would rather have London, but if you need a quarterback badly, and I don't know, I mean, Howell's okay. But I would say, like, I still like T-Law. If you need a quarterback, this is not a horrible move. London still could be inconsistent to a certain degree. So give me T-Law in that situation. I think T-Law is doing very good. I wouldn't say he's doing amazing or elite, but he's doing very good. T-Law has been dealt with 2 London games and a Thursday night game in a very short window of time. The turnaround on that and the jet lag and everything, I think people are not understanding what T-Law has been through. And in injuries to his wide receiver room, I think T-Law is a good player going forward. Just got Bijan for Swift. I like that. I got him. I would say eventually I will be hitting this button. I'll hit it for you now in advance. But right now the values are close though.
Got him.
But I do think that will be a got him moment in time. But it makes sense to do it on either side. I'd rather have Bijan. Couple trade ideas, 3 and 4 in my league. I give Tyreek and Jacobs for Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp. I would take Chase and Cooper Kupp, yeah. Or Ayuk for Lamb. That one's cute. I don't think that's going to happen. But DK and Jacobs for someone. I think you could maybe get like a Eckler for DK and Jacobs. You can maybe get a Bijan and something. You can maybe get an Achane and like Devontae Smith type player for DK and Jacobs. Yeah, but that Jamar Chase trade would be awfully sick if you could pull that off. Asan, I would get Breece, Smitty. I don't remember what we're talking about, bro. Try and include it in the message if you can, because I really have no idea at this point what I see so many things come through. What was it here? JJ for Flowers and Breece. Yeah, then I would say, yeah, I mean, it doesn't change I would say definitely I would rather have the Breece Hall side, but I think the chat seems pretty high on JJ right now. Chat, would you rather have Breece Hall and Flowers or JJ? Could we get a vote for Asan on that one? This one's from James. $10 hauler gets a
to the
moonshot. Trade my Gibbs and Brian Robinson for Aaron Jones and McLaurin. I'd probably rather have Aaron Jones and McLaurin, but hopefully Gibbs does grab a hold of he has a foothold on go forward carries no matter what happens with the Monty situation. But I mean, right now I'd take the gamble on Aaron Jones. PPR, I have Mahomes. My gut says hold on to Gibbs, but I don't know. James, trust your gut. If your gut is screaming, hold on to Gibbs, he's so fun to watch. He's so good. He's one of the better elusive tackle-breaking machines in the NFL. I don't care about everybody saying he's too small. Look, he looks like Achane out there. And you could say he doesn't, whatever. I don't care. I don't care what people say, honestly, in terms of negative things against Gibbs or Achane. I see what I see. But the problem is I also, with the coaching staff, see what I see, and I'm a little bit skeptical that they know what they're doing with Gibbs. I really don't understand the thinking. I would say trust your gut. I'm going to be rooting that Gibbs is so much better than Aaron Jones. So just know that. If Gibbs goes nuts, you'll see me standing up, clapping, throwing. You're going to be sick to your stomach. But at the same time, this is a move that if you've got a lot of Gibbs shares everywhere, doesn't mean you're going to be all that upset if Gibbs is going nuts. 5-1-1, half PPR. Trade Amon-Ra for JJ. I'd rather have Amon-Ra right now. This could change 1 week from now. Looking forward to the playoffs. Chase JJ. So if you're 5-1-1, I could get behind this, I guess. Sure, JJ, in your scenario, but in your scenario only. I don't advise people that have 4 wins to go trade JJ or go trade for JJ using St. Brown. But can I get a vote on that? Let me get a vote on that. Rush, Smitty, next time I'll take a lap, say bench 600 instead. Rush is always so competitive with what not competitive, but I would say Rush is definitely, you're funny because you're always trying to tweak my workout or you're competitive with it or something. It's hilarious. Rush will compare guns on Halloween night. How's that? Your gun versus mine. And when I say that, I mean arms. We'll compare arms on Halloween night. My arm versus your arm. Trade Swift Pickens for Achane Kincaid. I'd take Achane and Kincaid. No. Yeah. I don't know. This one's tough. This depends on your team. If you can survive waiting on Achane, then I'd probably rather have Achane. But if you can't, then you can't trade Swift and Pickens. And they're delivering right now. I know Swift has been a little underwhelming, but would you trade Kamara and Ridley for Achane and Waddle? I would probably say Kamara and Ridley. In Dynasty, oh, hell no. Dynasty, it's Achane and Waddle by a mile. I already have Brees. Absolutely. I don't even need to know the rest of the equation. This is Dynasty, a whole different conversation, bro. Achane to the moon. You out of your mind? Smitty approved.
You've just been...
Big Tone, $5 hauler, 2 and 5. T-Law, Love, Murray, Kelsey, AK, Swift, Kyron, Hendy, Pickens, Ridley. Stand down. There are some powerhouses in this league. I mean, Murray's coming in right in the nick of time, bro. Kelsey, AK, Swift. You wait on Kyron because you got Hendy. I like that move. Unless you can move some sort of crafty, for a wide receiver. Your team's pretty good. Would I try and get using Pickens and Kyron like a Cup? Yeah, I would take a stab at that. Diggs, Cup, Chase, combinations of that level of player, Kyron with Pickens and etc. For sure. Past that, I don't know that there's much for you to really do right now. Howard dropping I think an animated GIF that is described to me in this. It doesn't show it to me. Character handing over a cup of coffee saying, for you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Howard. Howard to the freaking moon. Jack, trade Josh Jacobs for Chris Olave. I would take Chris Olave even with the record. But is there a gamble? Is there a suspension? Is the offense exactly what we want it to be in New Orleans? Is it a little concerning that they throw so much to Kamara and that the offense is kind of built around that? I mean, it's a little concerning, but Jacobs has got his own concerns, so give it to me. 4 and 3 have Kincaid, Waller plus Foreman for JT. If you like winning, go get JT.
You've just been Smitty.
Probably the easiest question I've been asked all night, maybe. Or second easiest. There was that other one that was horrible. 5 and 2, 12 team had 5 and 2, 12 team and have Hawkinson sit on my hands. Okay. this is the construction of the sentence is just. I would say 5-2, 12-team. James, I don't know if this is related to another question. You gotta include it in the question. I have no clue what we're talking about anymore at this point. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Trade my Gibbs and B-Rob for Aaron Jones McLaurin. I have my gut says to hold on to Gibbs. Oh, this one. See how quickly it's in one ear, not the other, bro. I have so many things I'm looking at. I can't retain it. I just can't. I know it seems like I got a bad memory. Sometimes I don't have a really good memory. But when you have so much stimuli, there's just no way a human being can absorb it. They have to release it. I have to let it come in one ear barely, and it floats out. Doesn't even go through. But I'm sorry, bro. Let's see here. Trade my Gibbs and Brian Robinson for Aaron Jones McLaurin. I don't think this really... I have Hawkinson sitting on my hands. I don't know that this really changes anything. I don't know what this has to do with this, but I would say, like, I still feel like, you know, you got to trust your gut on the Gibbs, Aaron Jones thing. I mean, Aaron Jones came back and he didn't really do anything. So in some respects, like, you could say Aaron Jones is scary. And, you know, if you owned him and let's say he does bad next week, are you going to say, damn, I shouldn't have traded for him off of one bad game next week because it's one bad game coupled with a bad game before it? Tough to know. Like, Green Bay's also tough to predict right now. They have to get back to using Aaron Jones to do well, and that will help Love. That will help Christian Watson. It'll help the offense score touchdowns and get in the red zone. Getting in the red zone is key. If Aaron Jones can get this team into the red zone on the regular, Christian Watson, Love, everybody scores. But are we confident that they're going to? I don't know. So, you know, you have to trust your gut on that. Trying to acquire HN and ETN. Thank you. Appreciate your super chats, James. You're the man. Trying to acquire HN and ETN for Jacobs and Monty. Am I delusional? A little bit. But, I mean, maybe you throw in a little something on the side there, pal. And you get it done. But depends on what it is. Traded Kelly, CEH, Slayton for Sharbs and a third. How did I do? Sure. I like Sharbs. Any sort of keeper format, that's a win for me. $10 hauler from Bryson. Bryson to the freaking moon. Appreciate you, Bryson. Bryson, let's go. $10 haulers get moonshots, baby. 10-man, 3 and 4. Burrow, Eckler, Pollard, Hall. Love the RBs. Olave, Ridley, Mike Evans, very solid. Kincaid, like this team. Bench, decent. I mean, look, there's nothing to really do here. Sit back. Murray and HN on IR. Wow. Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm going to tell you to do, and there's nothing to move at RB, it would be a matter of trying to upgrade Ridley or Mike Evans or Olave into a Diggs, a Chase, or maybe even a St. Brown using like your extra quarterback like Kyler. Wait on HN. Don't trade him. You know, if you could trade like Olave, man, 3 and 4. I was going to say you could try for JJ, but maybe Cooper Kupp. Maybe you're trading Ridley or Olave or Mike Evans with Foreman and the quarterback if they're quarterback needy for Cooper Kupp. Like Bryson, that would get Cooper Kupp. That would be great, bro. Or Diggs or Chase using that kind of combination. Hopefully the team that has Diggs, Chase, or Kupp needs a quarterback, and then you're in the money. Should I trade Tajay Spears and Devontae Smith for Garrett Wilson or Rashad White? I would rather have Devontae Smith and Spears, my broski. I like those players as buy lows right now. Trade Hawkinson for Adams. I have Kincaid. I definitely would take that. And then I try and maybe flip Adams. If not, I'm definitely okay with that. That's good value. Made some moves in my 1 and 6 roster. So it's currently Goff, Walker, Gibbs, Javonte, Henderson, D. Smith, Evans, Ridley, Andrews, and additional moves. I would probably say I'd love to get you into Tua versus Goff. I think maybe Henderson and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that you can maybe do too much with that. Goff and Henderson for Tua might work. You might even be able to get that after this week if, let's say, Mostert doesn't play and Tyreek Hill doesn't play or something, and Tyreek Hill is questionable. Then Tua might have a struggle bus game, and 2 struggle bus games in a row will make him cheap. And Goff could blow up or something in a bounce-back game for the Lions. So, tough to say, but this is probably a hold and wait because Devontae Smith, Evans, Ridley, unless you're selling Andrews and you've got Kincaid, or you could pick Kincaid up off waivers, or even target Kincaid from the Kincaid owner and get a massive upgrade somewhere, like especially at QB. Like you go from Goff to Josh Allen or Hurts or something like that. That's fantastic using Andrews, but don't use Andrews that way unless you're getting something significant, because he's worth a lot. Full PPR, Hurts, Bijan, Javonte, Achane, Andrews, AJB, Cup, Ridley. This is a stand-down type of team. Hold this and wait for Achane or make a move. I don't think I'm making too many moves. I would maybe try and get like a Pacheco, but like at what cost? AJB, Cup, Ridley, I probably keep that the way it is. Bijan, Hurts, keep that the way it is. Achane, don't touch it. So really it comes down to maybe you trade Andrews if you have Kincaid or an ability to get Kincaid off waivers or trade for him or whatever. Maybe you contemplate a Javonte Andrews for, like maybe someone gives you Eckler for Andrews, bro, and Javonte. Maybe somebody gives you you have Bijan. I don't know. I something similar to that Cooper Kupp. Andrews for Cooper Kupp, and let's say you can somehow pick up an RB in that trade that suffice. It can, maybe it's Jeff Wilson, and he has Jeff Wilson, or you can pick up Jeff Wilson, and now you got Achane, Jeff Wilson to sustain a running back too until Achane's back. But I definitely feel like holding's probably smartest for you, unless you can take Hopkins alone and Javonte and go get maybe Pacheco. I like Cup for you, but that's not going to get Cup. You'd have to give up something more. Cup would be an Andrews move. Andrews for Cup, and then you get Kincaid, like something like that, or tight end. I'd rather have Cup over Andrews. Close though. Phone line. I'll open it for you, Yvonne, if you call in. $5 hauler, Johnson. Appreciate you. Traded Bijan and for Amon-Ra. I like Amon-Ra a little bit more. Very, very close call, though. I like them both quite arguably the same, though. B-Men, did you miss my super chat, or did I miss it? I think you maybe hit the restroom, pal, because I definitely helped you on your super chat, but I will go look for it. B-Men. Let's find that. It was, would you try and get T-Law for London? Yeah, I did hit that. I said, T-Law I think will bounce back. I talked about it for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. T-Law will bounce back. I think everybody's really hard on him. He had 2 London games and a Thursday night game in 3 straight games, and people gave him crap for winning and doing well. And I think he bounces back. I think he only gets better. I think once Zay's back healthy enough to stretch the field and do some of that short, short and stretching the field, like rotational type of production that you'll have then Ridley even get opened up. Because right now Ridley's doing a lot of that stretching the field work, and it's costing him, some less accurate targets and some harder to reel in passes, whereas I think Kirk's getting a lot of the over the middle stuff and the short yardage stuff, and that's easy to catch, and your potential catch rate is higher. And so a lot of it's not Ridley's fault, but Ridley is in a situation right now that isn't going to change much. He's going to have to do a lot with this, like 30% likelihood of getting a pass, pulled in, if it's, I'm guessing on that guesswork, versus like a 50% rate for like Kirk, or 60% or whatever the hell it is. $10 hauler from Only. Appreciate you, Only. Moonshot
to the moon
for you with the $20 or the $10 hauler. I got offered Calvin Ridley, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bijan Robinson and Josh Downs for Tyreek Hill. Calvin Ridley, Gibbs, and Bijan and Josh Downs for wow. Oh, you got to give up Achane too? Hell, like you're gonna get hell no. I'm not giving up Achane. I thought it was just Tyreek Hill, and then I thought this was a period. Deontay Foreman and Achane, hell no. Not giving up Achane in that. I was considering it if it was if it was just Tyreek Hill, but that Achane side with Tyreek Hill by a mile. By a mile. Just got offered Aaron Jones. Thank you for the super chat. Just got offered Aaron Jones and Achane for Jacobs. I would take that side by a country mile. Vegas, give me that Achane side, baby. Do it live. That's fantastic. Trade C. People say Achan's not available. It's crazy. Trade C. Watson, Kincaid, and T. Higgins and Mayer. What is this? Trade C and Watson. Hold on. Sorry to check a text there. Trade C and Watson, Kincaid for T. Higgins and Mayer. I would say give me Higgins and Mayer. Nah. Give me Watson, Kincaid. I don't know. It's really close. I would say I'm wavering. It's so close because I like T. Higgins more than Watson right now, but I think Watson could prove that to be, like I said at the top of this show, people got to be patient with Watson. I know it's frustrating to be, but I think he could. This is football where someone could be a top 12 wide receiver in weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It doesn't have to be an average. It doesn't have to be a consistent. It can be crazy like that. I would rather have I think Kincaid blows up here. But Higgins and Mayer is very close. This is a very, very even Steven trade. I'm literally wavering every time I look at it. So very, very solid and even. Lost a lot tonight. Can I have a moment of silence? Lost a lot tonight. On what? What did you do, big dog? Draven, you can call in and explain. Did you drop a bunch on baseball or something like that? IG, when you get a chance. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate you. Bryson, Eckler, Ridley for Chase and Monty, giving Eckler or Eckler, Ridley, Watson for Tyreek. Eckler, Ridley for Chase and Monty. I'd probably rather have Eckler and Ridley. No, that's tough. If you can wait on Monty Chase is pretty dang good. But Eckler, Ridley's nice too. This is all very, very close. And Eckler, Ridley for Tyreek. Probably Tyreek is the best side of all of this, but they're very arguable sides, Bryson. Super, super close. Have you heard D-Hop involved in a trade rumor? There's a lot of trade rumors circling right now, none of which have been like truly substantiated. We've talked a lot about them. Tough to say. Again, Watson spending time rehabbing. Brock Purdy may miss Sunday's game. I'm looking at a lot of the new stuff. DK, full participant in practice. Nothing like hardcore concrete coming from Shefty and the boys. There's a lot of rumor mill stuff. You know, we talked about Derrick Henry getting traded to the Ravens or to the Buffalo Bills like almost a week ago. And so people are kickstarting that stuff. But Hopkins, all of that's potential. Devontae Adams, you know, Jacobs, like there's a lot of Barkley. Barkley doesn't want to get traded, but would they trade him anyway? Tough to know. Have you heard D-Hop? Oh, I just read that one. Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate you. We'll get to some more rumors, and you can bet your bottom dollar if there's a big enough trade rumor that kicks in, like Schefter reports something or retweets something, we'll come in with a compartmentalized video on that player and that trade idea. $5 hauler from Michael, 3 and 4, T-Law, Love, Kyler, Ramondre, Warren, JMO. Do I move Diggs for wide receiver depth? You probably have to, man. No offense. I'm not trying to... I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Kyler, Hall, Mondre, Diggs, Lamb. Actually, you might be okay, but I would explore it. Like, if you can get an Achan and Olave or Achan and Lamb. You got Lamb already, but you know what I mean? Like, you can get that type of player with Achan, then I'm liking it. If you can get Breece Hall and Olave for Diggs, you know, like, definitely need to explore it because your team is a little bit light. It's pretty decent, but like one injury and you're done, and you're already very close to not being the best team. You know what I mean? So, Smitty, you didn't even answer my question, says Johnson. You let me be the judge of that. You let me be the judge of whether I didn't answer this question appropriately. Let's see here. Trade Bijan. You're probably right. Traded Bijan for Amon-Ra because I'm 2 and 5. Okay, I probably just answered that. Who is your running back 2 to target? Receivers are Pittman, DK, Cooper, Palmer, Amon-Ra. Sorry, bro. I got distracted by your other part. I would say running back to target using Pittman, DK, Cooper, Pacheco, Pittman and Palmer for Pacheco, DK for Hall, DK and Pittman for Hall, DK and Cooper for Eckler, DK and Palmer for Aaron Jones, Cooper and Palmer for Aaron Jones, Achane using Cooper, Pittman and Palmer for Achane, Pacheco for Pittman and Palmer, Pacheco for Cooper, Pacheco maybe for DK. That should give you enough to get out there and get to work, broski. Appreciate you double super chatting. Apologize for that. Ethan, was it a mistake trading St. Brown for Chase week 4? Not really, bro. Like, honestly, in hindsight's always going to be, 2020, but like, I don't even know at the end of the day it's going to be bad. Like, St. Brown's playing great, but Chase could blow up down the stretch. Like, Burrow's just getting in his groove, I think. I'm 1-6, and I just offered Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, and Joe Burrow for Hurts, Devontae, and Njoku. So, Amon-Ra, Laporta, Joe, Hurts, Devontae. I almost feel like the Joe Burrow side's more valuable, bro. I'm going to say stand down on offering up the Amon-Ra side. You're giving up a little too much, my guy. I mean, Joe Burrow is good enough. Mixon and Stevenson for JT. I take that and run. Give me the JT side all day long. I don't even care what you have. You just make another trade if you got a surplus. Michael, $4.99 hauler, 1 QB, 12 PPR, 2 flex, Hurts, JT, Olave, Puka, Addison, Christian Watson. Let's go. Kincaid on IR, JJ Connor, Kyron, trade Hurts and DeMarcado for Russell Wilson and Bijan. No, bro. Hurts is phenomenal. No, bro. Hurts is phenomenal. I love Bijan, but like, I want Hurts, my guy. To drop down to Russell Wilson, like, it's like getting kicked in the sack, bro. I like Bijan a lot. I do. I tried to trade for Bijan, but you're talking about a top 3 quarterback, and that scores a lot of points. No, thank you. My T-Law, K9, Nico, Laporta for Lamar, Eckler, Mayer. Give me Lamar, Eckler, Mayer. It's very arguable, and I do kind of go back and forth on it because, I mean, look, Nico is the difference maker here. If he's a top 15 wide receiver down the stretch, even top 12, that side wins. And then we look back on it and we're like, damn, that's the nature of these trades, Slayer. Like, they're teeter-tottering on this direction or that direction based on a bounce back, a bye week, coming off the bye week. What's Nico look like? Does Dell go nuts and Nico go nuts and Dell go nuts? Laporta's fantastic. K9 bye week free. Eckler bye week free. Lamar's just a big difference maker, so I'm going to say Mayer does really well. I know people are kind of disappointed that he didn't blow up as much like we thought he could, but it might be a week delay. We're a lot of times a week early. I think Mayer has a nice little week. I called was the right number. Yvonne, call again. I'm sorry, bro. I got to enter you in the system so I recognize when you call. It's sometimes harder to get in the first time because I get like 15 calls and I don't know who's who. 2 QB Dynasty, I was offered Deshaun Watson, Hopkins, and Javonte for Cup, Pickett. Of course you were offered that because Watson's garbage right now. Who knows if he plays again this year. Hopkins, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Cooper Kupp, bro, you shouldn't be doing this. Watson's killing you. Cooper Kupp is miles ahead. This is a no-go. Cooper Kupp side by a mile. World by a mile. That's an absolute no. Absolute no. 651 caller. Is this Yvonne?
Yeah, what's good, bro?
Where are you calling from, Yvonne? Am I saying your name right?
Minnesota.
Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, Avon.
Avon, what's up, Avon?
So, it was me that did the JJ trade earlier. I don't know if you remember that. JJ and Higgins for Addison and Flowers, I think.
Okay.
And so, me being in last place, I I do remember telling you too, like nobody really does trades in that league too, so that kind of motivated me to accept it as well. Because I can't really stick with JJ being 2-5 and 10.
Yeah,
place,
tell me the trade again. This is the one that I hated.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it was JJ and Higgins for Addison and Flowers.
For Addison and Flowers. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even.
But you can't do a trade though based on no one's trading. That can't be in the vocabulary or the excuse book. You know what I mean? Like you can't just say, well, hear me out, or well, no one's trade. Like, look, JJ, someone's going to trade for J. You first of all, you just pulled off a trade, so you can't really say nobody's trading. JJ, every week you get closer to getting back is going to explode. I'm not saying this can't help you for 2 or 3 weeks, but I mean, what happens? Addison's still going to be very solid once JJ comes back, but he won't be quite as good. And this is a lot of value that you gave up, man. That's you should have brought that to the chat. I know you probably hit the button quick.
I should have called and asked before I did it.
Yeah, I mean, you could have got an Achan added to this like type of player, and even then I would have said, hold on, let's think about this for a second. And like that's me saying that would be debatable. Like I'd waver if you threw in a top 5 running back. You know what I mean? Like that's how, or like Aaron Jones, like a potential 6 to 10 running back. If Aaron Jones was in this trade, I'd be going, I don't know if you should do this. Like you don't even have that player in this trade, so it's like But what's your team look like?
So let me go to so my team. So going down, starting lineup: Burrow, Swift, and then right now I have Hunt as the starting lineup because we don't know what's going to go on. But I got him as the RB2. Olave, Addison subbed in, Flowers subbed in, and then I got Laporta. So that's the starting lineup.
Yeah, man. I mean, geez, that it's just like
I have Gibbs too.
You have Gibbs, okay. I mean, just looking at this team, man, you ask me for my honest opinion. I'm not going to sugarcoat things just because you super chat. So, like, I think you hopefully appreciate that. But I'm looking at this team, and there's no way this team is the best team in the league. There's zero chance.
Right.
But if it had JJ, would it even make the playoffs? Because you got to wait on him. I don't know that answer to that. What's your record?
2-5, 10 place.
Yeah, I mean, so like, could JJ come back on a tear and this team be a lot better? Yeah, but I don't know if you would have made. So it's not like you shouldn't have. You still should have been trying to trade, and I get people weren't trading, but I just think like there's a couple players that I would have targeted for you specifically, and it would have been the Achane wide receiver combination. It would have been Breece Hall in a wide receiver combination. It would have been JT in a wide receiver combination, or Eckler straight up for JJ was totally doable fair market value wise. I get no one's trading, but damn, man, like there's zero chance you're getting a JJ back using Addison and Flowers. That's what you got to look at when you make a trade is if things go badly and I don't like it anymore next week, am I driving this off the lot like a car and it's losing like 20% of the value immediately when I drive it off the lot? You lost 20% of that value immediately driving it off the lot. There's zero chance you're getting a JJ for Addison and Flowers. And that's what should make you say no to the trade. The trades you say yes to should be like, hey, can I take this exact package that I just got and flip it into something maybe even better? And if you can answer yes to that, then it's not a bad trade. But there's no way you're getting an Eckler for Addison and Flowers. People will laugh at that. You could have got Eckler for JJ. That's what you got to do when you look at a trade.
Yeah. I do have Khalil Herbert. I don't know if that really is a big difference, but I have him on IR. Does that really make a difference, or is that really just kind of
no one knows what Khalil Herbert is right now, bro. That doesn't make much of a difference. But don't beat yourself up over it. Just learn from it. But you definitely need to get fair market value.
All right, for sure. All right,
First
time calling in. So
hey, Avon, I got you in the system. Yeah, I got you in the system, Avon, so when I see you call, I'll be much more likely to answer it, because sometimes I get like 15 random calls, and I just don't answer any of them.
Sure.
So I got you in here. 100%. So you got a bat line in here now. Red phone.
I got you.
All right, later.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. All right, Ricky B, $5 holler, sup Smitty, I'm 1-6. Team is Burrow, Brees, Gibbs, Chase, Puka, Komet, Addison, Rasheed Rice, JSN, London. Where should I look to improve? I love Burrow, Brees, and Chase and Puka. Fantastic. Addison, this is a good team. I would explore, though, trading Addison away high to try and improve, like a Garrett Wilson and Addison for Cooper Kupp, a Garrett Wilson and Addison for JT, or maybe Gibbs and Addison for Eckler, Gibbs and Addison for JT and a receiver, Addison and Ford, or Addison, just like something small like that, but only if you're getting that nice little like buy low piece. I think you could literally survive with this team. It's just you're 1-6, so I am trying to beef up the lineup a little bit. I'm trying to take advantage of whatever sell highs you have. I don't think that anybody's a super sell high but Puka and Addison. Now, would I trade Puka, let's say, for Achane and Devontae Smith? Yes, I would. So maybe that's the way to explore it too. Then Addison and another piece for something. But Puka might be your way into an Achane Devontae Smith. And I kind of think you need that in order to win, my guy. I think that team needs that team does need something along that line. All right, phone lines are open. 30-second phone calls only. Dial into the show. First caller, Sam. Sam from Scottsdale, you got 30.
Hey, how's it going, Smitty? I got a trade offer in my 3 wide receiver league, and it's T. Higgins, and I'd be receiving Sam Laporta.
You need a tight end bad?
I have Trey McBride. I just picked him up off waivers.
So yeah,
I'm 7-0 in this league, so I've been getting by without a tight end.
Well, I'll tell you what, bro. This couldn't be a more even trade, depending on the need of your team. And you need a tight end, and you're 7-0. You're obviously doing really well. This is going to only solidify your, I think, chances going forward. This is not a mistake trade by any means. Even if T. Higgins does really well, this is a position of need for you and a positional advantage. So Laporta all the way.
Okay. Thanks, Smitty.
Yeah. All right, Sam. Appreciate you. Later, pal.
Yep.
Hank, you got 30.
I need a flex spot. So Christian Watson, Roshan Johnson, Tank Dell, or let me see. But yeah, those 3.
I mean,
and Hollywood.
Probably Hollywood. He's getting a lot of good targets. So Hollywood Brown is your easy safe call. I will say that I'm not writing off Watson to be the main guy you would pick in this scenario week in and week out. But for right now, Hollywood's earned it, bro. Especially if Kyler comes back this week. Let's go, man. Hollywood's playing really, really good. Just sneaky football.
Okay, thank you.
All right, later, Hank. Trust your gut, though. Kai from Kansas, you got 30.
My guy, I'm sending 5 after this. I'm gonna need more than 30 seconds. I can't lie. This is a mega trade.
I'll give you a good minute or two with a $5 holler. Sure, go ahead.
This is a mega. All right, I'm gonna be giving up Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, and Justin Herbert.
All right, hold on. Alvin Kamara, Hill, and Herbert
for Cooper Kupp.
Goodbye.
Lamar Jackson, Brees Hall, and Achane.
Woo, doggy.
I'm saying, I tried to tell you. You thought I was lying.
Okay, so is this on the table? Can you press the button?
I can press the button.
Okay, and you're giving up the Kamara side, right? Okay.
I'm giving it. Yes.
So let's put it this way. This is, first of all, I would say press the button, and then we'll talk about it. But you're getting Lamar for Herbert. I honestly want Lamar over Herbert. I think every sane person would at this moment in time. Could that change? Absolutely. But right now, Lamar played so amazing. the other night. He scores points on the ground in a way that protects his value. He runs, which is a concern, but whatever. You got to take that gamble. So you got a QB advantage right away. Now, Tyreek Hill versus Kupp, we could say that Hill smashes Kupp to, or whatever. You could say beats him. I don't think he smashes him, but I could also argue, I don't know if Ron Navy dropped another 50 of those, the old one. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the $50 or the 50 gifted memberships. I would say, like, you could literally take the difference between Lamar and Herbert, you could say is equal to the difference between Hill and Kupp. So right there, we remove all those players from the equation. So we say Hill, Herbert, Kupp, Lamar, just to make things as simple as possible. Hall and Achane destroy Alvin Kamara. Destroy him. And as much as I love all three of them, this offense is questionable. So there's reasons to be concerned. Like 2 weeks from now, we might look at Kamara totally different. I love Kamara. I'm not trying to cast doubt on Kamara, but just being realistic that the offense is questionable. And so you give me Hall in a questionable offense too, right? But they're talking about trading Dalvin Cook. There's all kinds of hype behind using Hall more. We've seen it. And so that's kind of an even situation. There's concern with the offenses. There's concern about Kamara's older. Hall's got limitations with whether the ball is even in the red zone half the time. But then you get this piece right here that's a top 5 running back. It's a smash, bro. Absolute smash. Do it live.
And are you taking AJ Brown or Cooper Kupp? Because he also has AJ Brown, so he could throw AJ Brown in there too.
I'm pretty sure I would say give me Cooper Kupp, but I love both of them. I would take the Cooper. I would just hit the button before he talks. He might call his mom up and say, "Mom, you got the meatloaf? Okay, what do you think about this trade?" And his mom might go, "What? And then all of a sudden, this is pulled, bro. I mean, you got to take that trade. Am I wrong, chat? You can wait for the chat to vote, but I'm pretty sure.
I want to wait for the chat to vote because Kamara is going stupid right now. He's getting 14 targets, so I'm kind of nervous, man.
Let's see what the chat says. The chat says, first of all, does the chat like the trade? I'm sure they do, but vote on that. And then does anybody want AJB over Cooper Kupp? It's really weird that everybody's off this Cooper Kupp train so quickly. Like, he had 2 good games. He came off the injury. Everyone's saying smash, but there is a debate between AJ Brown and Kupp. My only concern for you, bro, is if you go to him, did he offer you both trades? Are they both sitting there, or do you have to re-conversate?
Okay, so he's stingy about AJ Brown. So he said he's not going to throw me a quarterback if he puts in AJ Brown.
Okay, but here's the problem, bro. You go to him, he might have a change of heart. I would just punch the button.
No, he won't. They're all, but he's not declining. He's on the ESPN fantasy, and he'd be looking at the plus minus, and he's a lover of that. I
know, bro, but if you say, "Hey, let's do AJ Brown instead," and then he might just pull it all. Let's just wait. I'm hitting that button. I'm smashing it. The difference between Kupp and AJ Brown is debatable. To an extreme degree. There's no way somebody has a legitimate, untouchable argument for AJ Brown over Kupp or Kupp over AJ Brown. Is very, very debatable. Very debatable. And for that reason,
Cooper's gonna continue to eat in his.
Well, what's Cooper Kupp done since he's come back from injury? And he was in a void for me because he was older and he missed time. Eckler was in a void for me because he was older and he missed time. But both these guys are back. They've missed time. They have a shorter season that they have to deliver in, so they're probably going to be okay. Cooper Kupp, his last three games, bro, 12 targets, 8 receptions for 118 yards. 9 targets, 7 receptions for 148 yards and a touchdown. 7 receptions, only 7 targets for only 2 receptions and 29 yards. But that's one game. He literally had 118 yards and 148 and a touchdown. And to me, this is easy. This is easy. I have a bad feeling, bro, that he's going to pull the trade from you if you start finagling.
No, I promise you he's not.
You don't. You can't promise me. You can't promise me that. I've seen it over and over and over.
He's not smart. He's not smart.
It doesn't. If he's not smart, then he might say, "I'm going to go ahead and wait this out until next week."
He doesn't watch the show, Smitty.
Bro.
He doesn't.
It doesn't matter. Kai, it doesn't matter. I see it every single day. People pull out of trades whenever. Look, Kai. He could get on the phone with some. I'm telling you, you're blasting him on the trade. You're telling me he might not get on the phone. There's 0% chance, Kai, that he might not get on the phone and ask Bob what he thinks. And Bob goes, bro, you're giving up way too much. And he goes, I'll do the deal, this Cup deal. I won't do the A.J. Brown deal, but I'll do the Cup deal. But now I'm taking the quarterbacks out. You're going to come back and say, Smitty, he pulled it. You were right. I should have took it. It's a smash, bro.
I'm about to do it on the show right now. I'm telling you.
You're telling me? I'm telling you. Do what you want, bro. Do what you want. I've given you the advice. I'll be very anxious to see if you do try and finagle what happens. I'm really, really interested now.
No, I'm not trying to finagle.
You kind of are.
Your advice.
I know. Hey, Kai, you know I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. Later, pal.
Man,
we got people using
it right now.
Hey,
in 3, 2, 1.
Kai, we have people using the Bob emoji right now on you. They're dropping the Bob. We have a new emoji called the Bob emoji. When someone's being a Bob, the chat will spam the Bob emoji, and the chat is spamming the Bob emoji because you're finagling here. You're tripping over your own feet.
Bob emoji. It's
all right.
dropped. It's
Later.
done.
Later,
It's
Kai.
done.
Good job. Smash.
My God.
Later. Man, it's like taking a dump. Travis, you're live.
Hey, real quick on that trade. Did he got A-Chain as well on that deal?
Yeah. He did.
So he got those 4 for his 3.
That's what I was.
I'm glad he did it. 'Cause all due respect to him, he was way too confident. Because people always pull out of trades, and all he has to do is go and throw it into one of these free trade analyzer things, and every single one of those are going to say that his side is way better. Just
all he has to do is call his mother.
Like that,
all he's got to do is call his mother while
Yeah.
she's making the meatloaf and say, "Mom, what do you think of this trade?" And she go, "What?"
And if he's worried about Cup, I guarantee you, there's half of his league that are high on Cup. There's still a lot of people that are high on Cup.
I appreciate Kai, by the way, but yeah, Kai's getting the Bob emoji like crazy.
Yeah.
People are dropping I love the new Bob emoji. It gives the people power.
That's a good one.
It's like it's a nice way. It's not like a bad thing. It's just don't be a Bob. You're being a Bob. You're being a Bob right now, Kai. You're being a Bob. Let's do it live, Bob. I mean, Kai. All right, what can I do for you, Travis?
Yeah, just real quick. With DK Metcalf, is there would you value Hollywood over him with Kyler coming back right now? Or I'm kind of stuck on. I kind of want to move Metcalf. I have Pickens and Diggs as my main receivers in this league, and is there certain players you'd be looking to move off Metcalf for? Is there I guess in terms of receivers, who would you consider above him, in his range? That's kind of confusing question.
So let's see. DK, I would take Olave, maybe. And I think there's an argument to be made there, but Olave, I would obviously take St. Brown, but you're not going to get that unless you add something in. Lamb, probably not going to get that off of the last performance he had. I think I'd take D. Smith. I would take Ridley in something. I'd take Ridley in something.
Hollywood.
I think DK and Hollywood are close, actually, but I'd rather have DK by a hair. Although I think with Kyler back, we're either going to see regression in a weird way, or we're going to see Hollywood do even better. It's kind of tough to know. I kind of lean toward Hollywood being better. So
me too.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I feel like DK may earn you a little more in the trade for now, but you never know.
I have JSN too, so I mean, I know you don't really cuff receivers, but having that situation kind of makes it if last week, if Metcalf misses time, I just slide JSN in. So there's kind of a luxury in that. But
Gotcha.
I mean, I guess if I can upgrade it, it's still move.
D. Smith is my favorite target.
And then you really do think he's going to bounce back, right?
I mean, I
he's
do.
Healthy? Everything's fine?
I do think so, yes. Do I know for a fact? No, but like DK for Achane straight up, if I was just going to go for a best player I could get. But I would take Ridley and in some sort of running back upgrade. I would take Aaron Jones straight up for DK. I'd definitely rather have Taylor and give up like something. So like DK and something for Taylor, DK for Swift, DK for Olave, DK and something for Cup. I mean, you're hearing the Cup doubt. Like this guy kind of just called in. He's like, well, what about Cup? Do you think he's going to throw? Cup just had 100 yards and then 140 yards and then a bad game. Like people are doubting Cup like crazy. I don't understand. I mean, I don't know.
What about Waddle? Are they just kind of even, or does the Waddle injury?
Yeah, Waddle's so injury prone right now. I like him though, but.
Yeah. All right, and just the last thing, quick. So if I was to pair like Metcalf with one of my tight ends, Hawkinson, Laporta, or Kincaid, I should be shooting pretty high then.
You'd be shooting for Cup. Shooting for Cup, shooting for St. Brown, shooting for really that high, definitely. Or an Achane Devontae combo, an Achane Ridley combo.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
I appreciate it, Smith.
Thanks, see you, Travis. Okay, super chats here. Let's get these super chats out of the way here. We're approaching 3-hour show here. The 3-hour tour. Smitty, would you trade Rice and Foreman for Christian Kirk? I don't know. I mean, pretty even. I mean, the thing is, like, Foreman might help you for 2 weeks, and Rice is coming on strong. I like him a lot, but Kirk is steadier, so it does kind of depend. Chase for Amon-Ra and James Cook or White? No, I'd rather have Jamar Chase. Amon-Ra is close to Chase, but those aren't moving the needle for me. I mean, James Cook is decent, but I'd just rather have Chase. I'm not going to do that trade. And Pooch says trade Diggs for Eckler and Olave. I would take Olave and Eckler over Diggs because, like I always tell people, when you're doing a 2-for-1 or a 1 trade for 2 players, ask yourself the question, can each of your 2 players kind of contend if one of them were to go down and it was a 1-for-1? Like, let's say you make this trade and Olave's out for the year, he gets arrested again, and they're not letting him out. He went 180 miles over the speed limit tonight, and he gets sent to jail again. All of a sudden, you've got Eckler. This is hypothetical. All of a sudden, you got Eckler alone versus Diggs. Can that contend? Yes, it can. So you're diversifying, you're diluting your 1 player into 2 players, you're avoiding a lot of risk. If Eckler is out for the year tomorrow because he gets abducted by aliens and he gets returned safely next season, is Olave going to hang with Diggs? Maybe. Probably not, but like he could. So this is a really good trade, Pooch, if you need to make a move. And Superfish, Smitty, please explain to the folks how to accept their gifted memberships. Tater Toddy has been trying to get the word out. Ron is on the phone right now. Ron, how do you just go into your settings, right, to accept gifted memberships? Do you know that? I forget.
I don't know because I never got a gifted membership.
Yeah, you're just a giver. Guy, whoever in the chat knows, I think it's probably Travis or anybody. If you could message real quick what to do, like, is it your YouTube login settings or what is it? Your YouTube app? I think it's in the app. You just got to say, you got to turn on accepting gifted memberships. I don't know why they make you turn that on. That's ridiculous, but you do got to turn it on. So thank you, Superfish, for dropping that $5 hauler, and I'll look for that and pull the instructions on screen. What's up, Ron? Appreciate the super chats.
Yeah, it's funny because people are like, Ron Navy hates me. Ron Navy hates me because they don't get one. They probably don't have their thing turned on, and it's random. The person gifting can't control who gets them. It's all random.
Yeah. And you weren't here the other night when Selly was trying to mark his territory. But Selly the other night, he drops so many gifted memberships. He gifted so many because we had like 300 people on there, and he gifted way over the 300. or right around there or something. I think it was right around there. And so what it does is it randomly gives them to random people that aren't on the live stream once it maximizes everybody that's there. So like you might have actually done that tonight too. You dropped so many, and there's so many green names in here. We at least got half the people in here that are YouTube exclusive members. So I imagine you went over, and it's going to randomly gift. You know, when someone comes in, it might give it to them, but I'm not sure.
I think I did 170.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you.
But yeah, and then, but like I said, check out IG, and that'll explain a lot.
Okay, I will. Here, hang tight there, Ron. Let's see what Niner Rick has. Niner Rick, what do you have? You're live.
Yo, what up, Smitty?
What's up?
Hey, should I trade T.J. Hawkinson for Devontae Adams? I have Kincaid waiting in the Wims.
Yeah. I mean that lines up perfectly for you. I still shop. My go-to answer is yes, get Adams, but then shop Adams if you can turn him into something. But if not, you're buying at such a nice discount that you package in the risk. But yeah, you got to do. You got to.
That would give me Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, and Devontae Adams.
Not only that, but Hawkinson's injured right now, so do it live.
Did you hear the canine calf injury?
Yeah, I mean
we injured the same calf that he had preseason.
Yeah, we hit it here. I mean, he sat out with the calf. He sat out with the calf strain. It's not like he re-injured his calf or he's everyone's kind of just running.
Charbonnet season.
You what? Well, I mean,
Charbonnet season. I've been waiting for that. I got him on the bench.
You're getting ahead of yourself though. Like he's sitting out. It's a maintenance day. It's like his calf might be a little sore. My calf's still sore. I'm out running. It hasn't re-pulled. It's just sore. Sometimes it happens. Joe Burrow's calf's sore. We're always afraid of an Achilles tear and all that. Definitely calf injuries are more concerning than they used to be. But, I mean, I think that it's equally reckless to go to one extreme. Like, it's equally reckless to be like, don't worry about it. I'm not saying that. But also to be like, oh my God, he set out with the calf. Sometimes these reports, they don't even know what to pin it on. And they're like, what was his last injury? Oh, is a calf? Okay, he sat out with a calf. Sometimes the reports are very weird. Like you can't just unless we hear he's injured, he suffered a re-injury or he's questionable he's just sitting out of practice. And what was the last injury he had? Calf. Okay, it's a calf injury.
Yeah, especially with Pete Carroll.
Yeah, we got everybody and their mother freaking out in the chat about Walker. We already hit it. We talked about it. The show we do the news at the top of the show. We hit the Walker news right here. Cav did not practice. Nobody freak out. Everybody start, relax. Buy low. The freak out session in here, we got a pro Kenneth Walker group here, and it's a group that's freaking out. So if our group's freaking out, I can only imagine he's getting sold for pennies on the dollar out there on the open market. Here's the report. Here's another report. I'll read a different one. This is from NBC Sports, so I'll read this one. Dealing with a calf issue, Walker didn't take part in Wednesday's practice due to a calf injury. Let's see here. The Seahawks backfield includes a trio of injuries during Week 8 prep, with Walker sitting out. Charbonnet is also limited with a hamstring. So if you're going to say, oh, what about Charbonnet, season, he's limited too. I mean, they're both like in maintenance mode right now. McIntosh knee. Yeah. So we'll have to wait, bro.
Yeah, I agree. All right, but I'm going to do that trade. I'm going to pull the trigger.
All right. On which trade? The Hawkinson? Yeah. Do it live. All right, later.
Thanks, Mick.
All right, Ron, anything else before I go? We've been here for 3 hours. I'm going to head out.
Oh, yeah. You need to get you some shots of pickle juice, and that's what Walker needs.
Pickle juice.
They have the little shots of pickle juice. It helps with your muscles, your aches, so you need to get some pickle juice.
All right, I'll look into it.
Helps with cramping. Just do some shots of pickle juice.
And you need a couple bananas, protein, or what do you call it?
But I think this week is gonna
potassium.
Well, in the underdog stuff, right? I'm a little weary about Burrow and Cincinnati because they're going into San Francisco, and San Francisco, they're pissed off that they lost to Minnesota. And it's going to go one or two ways. Either Cincinnati's going to pull off an upset, and the 49ers are going to reel from that 3 straight games, or the 49ers defense is going to wallop on Cincinnati's offense. One of the two is going to happen. I'm
Well,
just not sure which way.
but with Purdy out, likely out. I mean, we'll see. Maybe he's not out, but with Purdy likely out, Sam Darnold is garbage, and they think he's potentially good. Look, they're a loyal fan base, and I love all my 49er people. And Niner Rick just called. We should have asked him what he thought, but I think that no matter what the defense is doing, and the defense has been getting worked over. And a lot of the Niner fan base, I can tell you right now, because I've got really close friends in the Niner fan base. You guys know what I'm talking about, and
I know.
Even Raj and the boys, they're all worried about this defensive coordinator, and they're all worried about in the comment section of all of their posts everywhere. I look at it to take the temperature of the Niner fan base. Niner fan base is wanting a new DC. They hate their DC. They're like, this defense is wasting away. It's one of the better defenses. The defense looks like garbage. It's just not like a one-off defensive, misstep or something. It's like this. The defense is not necessarily going to win games. Not right now. Maybe it changes. I don't know. But I have a feeling that Darnold's going to keep the Bengals in it no matter what. But I think this isn't the week, especially with it depends on what happens with what's his face? Where's the report when I need it? Trent Williams. Trent Williams is also still questionable, and that's a massive blow to the offensive line. So, and also they're going to put everything on CMC while he's injured, and Shanahan's going to break him. That's my big fear with Purdy being out. What is going to happen? Are they going to just take not the L, but take the disadvantage that they're going to play with and say, let's let Trent Williams heal up. Let's let Debo heal up. Let's let Purdy heal up. Let's try and win this game. Let's try and rally around Sam Darnold. Maybe we can get it done. Or are they going to try and push through and injure everybody? We'll have to see.
Yeah, you know what was strange about that game is what I didn't understand is, CMC was, but Ayuk started, he started out hot. Jennings started out hot, and then they just went away from them. And it's like, when your offense sputters there, then it takes more of a toll on their defense because their defense got to be on the field more. I think that's more of the thing. When the offense isn't rolling, the defense struggles because they're on the field more.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, I gotta go. I gotta go quickly. So let me just answer these calls, guys. I'm not going to be on here very long, but I've got Steve O, 49er fan, on the line. Give me your quick take. I can't keep you on long, bro. I gotta go. Steve O.
Hey, Smitty. Quick question: who we starting this week, Pitts or Kincaid?
I'm going to go Kincaid, but they're both very decent plays. Pitts is showing signs of life, but we're still trusting the play calling. So I'm going to go Kincaid. Kincaid, he should be overfed.
I think Knox going down. I think he could have a big week. I like it.
You don't want to not have Kincaid in your lineup the moment he's getting. This is like his unleashing party. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. But you're going to really have a tough time sleeping the night after if, let's say, Kincaid has 100 yards and a touchdown. And Pitts is still going to have to do a lot with a little, which he could do. He's very talented. But real quickly, what do you think of no Brock Purdy or the potential of no Brock Purdy? Sam Darnold. Are you a fan or?
No, I'll be completely honest with you, Smitty. I'm with you, man. I'm not a big Darnold guy. I'm going into this game, even before the Purdy news, I thought it'd be tough. Like Niners coming off 5 days rest, Bengals coming off a bye week and 13 days rest. So not loving that, honestly. Hoping for the best. I wouldn't bet on the Niners, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think Ron's might be right. It could go. I mean, definitely could go either way. But I just have
for sure.
I just have a suspicion that it'll be. The defense won't. I don't know. You never know. All right. Appreciate you, Steve. Later.
It'll be interesting.
Later, bro.
Thanks, Smitty. Appreciate you.
All right. Charles, 30 seconds, Charles.
Hey, Smitty. Somebody offered me CD Lamb for Mark Andrews. I have Kelsey as my primary tight end.
Yeah, you got to do it, bro. I mean, you're probably never going to sniff this kind of return. You've had both these guys all year, and you haven't gotten a trade done. So you've got to take CeeDee Lamb. He's borderline a top 15 overall player.
All right. Thanks, man.
I mean,
Appreciate it.
some would say they draft Lamb over Andrews even today, like even in today's value. So, like, you don't take this, you're punting away your one opportunity to fix and rectify your double tight end move. Why'd you draft 2 tight ends like that? To be honest.
No, it was Andrews was on waivers, and I picked him up and I stashed him.
So you play in a
But
grandma
Kelsey.
league. You play in a great grandma league.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Well, nice move, bro. Congrats. Way to stay on your toes,
You're the
Charles.
best, Smitty.
Way to stay on your toes, bro. Because sometimes, in grandma leagues, it gets boring, and you don't check the transaction wire, and you don't see people cut Kyler Murray and cut, Andrews. I'm sure every week someone's cut, like T. Higgins. I'm sure it gets cut, and that's a great job. Nothing wrong with playing in a.
You're the man, Smitty.
Yeah, you're the man. Nothing wrong with playing in a grandma league. I'll tell you guys. There's nothing. No one has to take any shame. Get scared about it. Like Scared Scott, who's on the phone right now. Scared Scott, you haven't called in a while. Hey,
Scared Scott.
Did you get your shirt?
It's been a little discombobulated, but Scared Scott's back.
Why were you discombobulated?
Oh, just a bunch of life shit.
Did you get your shirt, by the way? Did you get your shirt yet?
I did. Just the other day.
They were delayed.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. What did you get? What did you get in that? What was it that you won?
49ers one.
Okay, 49er underdog shirt. Nice.
Yeah.
Scared Scott, you got 30 seconds because I gotta go.
I conversation in the summer. I'm still scared of Eckler. I wouldn't invest a bunch, and if you can get a big price out of them, get rid of them. I'm telling you, Kellen Moore's offense doesn't throw to the back.
Scared.
They didn't do it. They had 75 total targets last year between Pollard and Elliott. That's why he only got 1 catch out of Eckler last week. They throw downfield. They don't throw to the backs. I wouldn't. He's not the kind of runner that's going to go out and run for 150 yards every week. And his numbers his receiving numbers that he feasts off of are going to be much lower.
Scared.
I wouldn't. If I had him, I'd sell them high.
Are you shaking, Scott? It sounds like you're shaking right now. You're so scared out of your mind.
I might be. But I would back off of if I had them, I'd try to sell them for a bunch.
I'd get rid of them
because people are still. He'll bounce back.
Trade him.
And if I was going to go for him, I sure wouldn't invest a ton.
All right, you heard it from Scared Scott. His Scared Scott moment of the day is stay away from Austin Eckler. He says, warning.
Alert. Panic mode initiated.
I think it might be 15, 16 on average. Would be my guess in full PPR. Maybe
I mean,
17.
hey, anything is possible. My guy, he's 28 years old. There's a reason I said don't draft him. But I do believe that there's opportunities in those. Don't go get him. Let other people draft him. Let other people
go get them. If you can sell them high, sell them high.
Like there's somebody in my comments that constantly doesn't listen. They just continue to write this in the comments of videos. They're like, Smitty, don't listen to this guy. The same guy told you not to draft Cooper Kupp, and now Cooper Kupp is one of his favorite go-get players. He changes his mind left and right, as if there isn't logic to that. Stay away from a guy, let everybody invest high, scoop him up low.
I drafted Kupp. I'm in 30 leagues. I drafted Kupp in 12 of them.
All right. Thank you, Scared Scott. Appreciate you dialing in. Call in more often, pal.
All right, later.
Perps from Minnesota. You're the final caller. What can I do for you?
What's up, Smitty?
Yo.
I just want to say, too many people in the chat, they think this is a sprint, not a marathon. You got to look at the long term.
That's true.
Every week, we're just building.
That's true.
Too many people forget that. So, I just got Tua and Devonta for Foreman, Flowers, and Ayuk.
Whoa. Wait, say it again?
I did that trade I messaged in earlier. I got Tua and Devonta Smith and gave them Flowers, Ayuk, and I'm talking myself out of it here. Flowers, Ayuk, and Foreman.
Smash. I like it. I like it. And even if Tua struggles a little bit in week 8, if let's say Tyreek sits, if Tyreek doesn't sit, he's fine. They'll make do with Ahmad and Jeff Wilson. The running game will get back on track no matter who's back there. But if Tyreek Hill plays, you're good to go. And Tua's going to explode. I think kind of like what Ron was saying about the Niners kind of bouncing back and being a holy terror potentially. I don't know that the Niners do that this week. I think that the Miami Dolphins do. I think the Miami Dolphins come back on a freaking terror. And I'm all about acquiring Tua right now. And this goes to some of the changing of opinions, as things evolve. Am I still very scared about one hit taking Tua Tagovailoa out for his career? Absolutely. But the guy's not getting hit, though. I think he's taken like a couple sacks all year. Like 1 or 2. Like it's been crazy. Like he's been protected pretty well. But am I worried about one hit? Of course I am, but I'm also acknowledging that offense and the explosion. Who's that? I hear something.
That's not me.
All right, hey, Perps.
Oh, that's me. My bad. I'm gonna put it on mute.
Yeah, Perps. Anything else?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree with you, and I mean everyone's vulnerable. I mean, Tua's one hit, but you take no chances, you get nowhere. So
yes, sir.
I just got to buy time for Fields to come back.
Perps,
so
appreciate.
If Fields comes back, I got him and Tua.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, Perps, appreciate all your supers and support. Thanks, pal.
Yeah, thanks for the channel.
Perps to the moon. Perp stock is going up. Get your perp stock. It's going up. Slayer, you got 30 seconds, pal. Appreciate you.
Okay, Smitty, I'm 2-5. I'm trying to do this trade. He tried to offer me earlier about when I hit you with the what is it? The Lamar Eckler and Mayer for T-Law, K9, Nico, and Sammy Laporta.
Yeah, like the
I'm 2-5, but I still got Brees, Bijan. I still got Olave, Zay Flowers, and Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'll be giving T-Law, K9, Nico, and Sammy Laporta for Lamar, Austin Eckler, and Michael Mayer.
Yeah, you got to take the Lamar Eckler side just because you're getting a massive upgrade at running back, and you're arguably getting an equal bye week out of the way for both the running backs, but an equal K9 and Eckler swap. And with the additional little bit of baby concern, just little itty bitty concern with the calf, it's not a bad move at all. It's a really, really good move. Don't listen to Scared Scott. Is there a reason to avoid Eckler? Sure. He's 28 years old. We knew there was a concern of missed games. But he's looking at a short season now of having to play football. And I do believe that, and this goes for a lot of teams that are struggling, it goes for, any team that's having trouble moving the football, they're going to look to getting back to certain things. The Packers have to look back to getting Aaron Jones to the focal point of the offense that will then churn out wide receiver production and, get in the goal line situations, the red zone situations. We need to see that in order for the offense to get going. Same thing here with Herbert and the boys. They're struggling to a degree. They have to do something different. What is the difference? It's getting Eckler the football, and I do believe they try that. Now, is there a chance that Eckler did reach his expiration date and it's all downhill from here? Could he get re-injured? Maybe, but I do believe he is 28 years old, is not the age of where you necessarily, unless you've seen the drop-off already, you necessarily can't do it. It's more about the mileage is massive. And to play 17 straight games or anything remotely close to it, it becomes really hard when you're a top 5 running back volume player. McKinnon's 30 plus years old. He's not being asked to take top 5 running back volume. Therefore, he's going to linger. But you have Todd Gurley, other running backs of the past. Derrick Henry's the only one that broke the mold, and he did it. I jumped a year early off of him, but you're seeing that wear down now. But unless you've seen the drop-off, which I don't think we've seen that of Eckler. He's been banged up. I think he's capable of putting together 8, 9, 10 straight games and not having to play that 17-game season, and he can deliver. I'm going to avoid Eckler at all costs in 2024, but I certainly think that he's worth the gamble, especially when you look at the tough schedule, which is a little less tough because the Niners are two of the teams that the Seahawks are facing, and that Niners defense is exploitable right now. But tough schedule, tiny bit of concern with the calf injury. They're kind of equal players. Do the deal, bro.
And plus, Austin Eckler, he traded for himself in fantasy. This is a 3-keeper league too, by the way.
Which, I still don't understand how this isn't a problem from a league and commissioner and like, even though you're not playing for money, how is playing fantasy football? I don't want fantasy football players to not play. I'm in leagues. I was in a league with Eckler. I was in a league with Waller last year. And so I actually love playing against these guys in leagues. I was in a player in like celebrity league last year. This year I'm not in any because I just don't have time. I bailed out of one. I could have been in the one with Waller, I think, again. But I love playing with these guys in leagues. But why is it okay? Just because there's money not involved, there's still a motivation. If you draft yourself in fantasy or you can play fantasy football, how is that not some sort of like compromising situation? Like I'm just posing that out loud, but it's crazy to me. I still don't know how it's okay. And especially there's like a certain dollar limit. Can you play for charity? Like there's a lot of, gray area, but it's crazy to me. I think at some point they'll not be allowed to play fantasy or any sort of, game or sport related to it.
Yeah, so the deal he wanted earlier, it's my brother-in-law.
All right, last one, because I got to go, Slayer. You got 30 seconds. Go, pal.
Okay, so what he wanted earlier, he wanted to give me Tua and what was it? What did he want to give me? Tua. Oh, just forget it. It's all right. That's good. I'm gonna try to launch it out anyways.
Yeah,
I had him kind of 50-50. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I definitely do the Eckler and Tua. I think it's a good move for you, bro. All right, I'm sorry, Eckler and Lamar. There's Lamar, right?
Yeah.
I do like Tua.
Thank you.
If you got to take Tua in a trade, I do also like Tua.
So you do the instead of Lamar, you do Tua, Eckler, and Mayer for T-Law, K9, Nico, and Sam Laporta?
Can you pull out Nico if you do the quarterback swap out? I really like the idea of Lamar though over Tua. They're both really good, but I'd rather give up Nico and get the Lamar deal done, to be honest.
Okay. So if you don't do that, then I'll try to pull out the Nico.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay, sweet.
All right, later, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Smitty.
Ron Navy, final thoughts?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the underdog. The 2-minute drill one in there, the $5 2-minute drill. It's a close thing in there because I finished 148 in that last week's tournament, and the difference between 148 and I had 102 points. The winner had 119 points. That's how close it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think this week, if you're doing any of those Royals or any of those 2-minute drills or any of those ones, I think if you can get a team with Baltimore this week with Jackson and them and Andrews against Arizona, I think those teams have a chance to pop off this way. I think Baltimore has another chance to pop off and have another good week this week.
Yeah, I was going to share my screen, but it won't let me. I got to restart everything. But yeah, go play Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The link is, I don't think the link's in the live chat pinned yet. Let me drop it right now. But they'll double your first deposit, still for a very limited time. They haven't told me when they're going to pull that $500 and make it, revert it back to $100. You will always get to my knowledge, for at least the remainder of the year, you'll get a $100 bonus match when you use code Smitty or the link that I'm dropping right now in the live chat. But for a limited time, they're going to give you a $500 bonus match So make sure you use this code right here. I'm going to pin it in the live chat right now. We'll probably, I don't know if we'll draft tonight. We're definitely drafting tomorrow night and then Thursday night and everything. Like, I'll try and do a hardcore draft sesh this week, but I don't know if it'll be tonight. Maybe we'll do a surprise one. But all right, Ron, appreciate all the super chats. Prayers up to Miss.
I sent you a screenshot in IG of my NBA pick'em tonight.
All right, I'll look at it.
Hit for over 2,300.
Awesome. All right, Ron Navy, appreciate you for dropping all the supers and
thanks for all the thanks for the chat tonight and all the prayers up. Appreciate it. She's going to be in there probably 2 to 3 days, and really appreciate the chat.
Yeah.
And you, Smitty. I mean, you know, the platform and everything.
Yep.
So love everybody.
Thanks, Ron.
Later.
Appreciate you. Later. All right, phone lines are closed for the remainder of the show. Let me hit these super chats. Chris M4 with a $20 holler. My boy Chris.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
8, 9, 10, 11, 13. For anybody that doesn't know, when you drop a 20, your boy Spitty puts in a set, and you guys are going to get Spitty ripped by Halloween night. Whoa. Hit my mic there. Halloween night, we're going to be ripped. 2-5, 4-week losing streak. Woo. Fields is out. That has definitely been hard. Streaming Cousins, and I have Bijan, Cook, Madison, Diggs, Puka, Lava. You got a good team, though. I think you probably should try and trade Cooper. Hard to trade Cooper now, though. But like Cooper and James Cook for like a doubted RB. I also would use Cooper or Cook with a Collins or something to get Achane before he jumps back into the mix. I think Achane's your friend. I think Aaron Jones is your friend. I think Devontae Smith is your friend. I'm using all kinds of potential maneuvers to get those guys. James Cook and Hollywood. Sell Hollywood high, even though I like Hollywood. But you sell James Cook and Hollywood for a JT. You sell Hollywood and maybe James Cook and Cooper for like Eckler. You know, something like that. Cooper Kupp seems to be pretty cheap right now. You might be able to trade a Diggs for Cooper Kupp and a player, so it depends on the player, but I'd be very tempted to go down that Cooper Kupp route. I also don't think your team is bad at all. I think... Do you have Achane on waiver? I just want to make sure you didn't have Achane on IR. Your team's waiting on Bijan, you know, and Cousins isn't bad. I'd trade Cousins into Tua or into a quarterback above that if it meant like throwing in a Hollywood or Amari Cooper just to give you stability. But I like that squad a lot. That's fantastic. Jay Pickens is wide receiver 2 right now because of JJ. Pickens is wide receiver 2 right now because of JJ. Pickens for Higgins and Kincaid. I mean, I could get behind that, but I think Pickens does deserve maybe, you know, the consideration of keeping him over the combo, but I don't hate it. Higgins is good. He's in a contract year. He just has been playing really bad and been injured, etc., etc. So, appreciate you, Payne, being in the building. I would say trust your gut on that one. It's a coin toss close, man. I wish I could give you a concrete answer, but I can't. Diggs and Walker for JSN, St. Brown, and Eckler. I lean Diggs and Walker, bro. I think that you can make an argument that Walker is better than Eckler. You can make an argument that Diggs is way better than St. Brown. I'm going to say negative on that trade. Superfish, appreciate you. Smitty, please explain to the folks how to accept their gifted memberships. Hopefully someone explain that. I think you just go in your YouTube settings and it says accept gifted memberships. I'm not 100% sure, but somebody repaste that, how the instructions on that. DK Kincaid for CD. I would take CD Lamb over DK and Kincaid. I think if that's redraft. Yeah. Trade Russ, Walker, Gibbs for Burrow, Pollard. Give me Burrow and Pollard by quite a bit, just because Burrow is a massive upgrade over Wilson by quite a bit. Trade Mostert and Flowers for Adams and Ingram. I take Adams and Ingram by quite a bit because I think Mostert is injury prone. Trade Bijan T and Algier for Eckler and Devontae Smith. I take Eckler and Devontae Smith pretty easily because those are very, very good buy lows for me. Smash, smash, smash. I will see you all later. Thank you all to my super chatters, all of you tonight. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Let's see here. Let me pull up my $20 haulers and just give you guys all your shout outs. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the 50, the 100, whatever you dropped a massive amount the whole show. Joseph Smith, $20 hauler. That Boy, $20 hauler. Tylee, $20 hauler. George P, $20 hauler. Ethan, $20 hauler. Hoosier, $20 hauler. And then my $19.99 haulers, Avon, Perps, Lego Batman, Ron Navy, Isaac, G Money, Ron Navy, Ryan, Oscar, Perps again, Chris M4, and then we had Perps with a $49 hauler. We had Ron Navy with two $100 haulers. Ron Navy dropping fire. I don't know if Ron Navy ended up passing to get the phone line back. I think he's short a little bit, but Ron, I'm not asking you to drop more. I think we aren't including the gifted memberships because he, what's his face, Selly, our boy Selly dropped massive amounts too, and I'm not really adding that in to get the phone line representation. Not that Ron cares. Ron's very giving and doesn't need the fame, but he's very close to knocking off Selly. Very, very close race tonight. Appreciate you all. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. We'll maybe be live tonight. I would say like 20-25% chance to do a draft or two. We'll see. But appreciate everybody jumping in here tonight. Rocky with a last minute super chat. Trade for Herbert, AJ Brown, DK Cooper, Dobbs, running back Saquon, Foreman, Henderson, Cooper. Let's see, AJ Brown, DK Cooper, and Foreman for like a doubted player right now on the buy low list. Henderson, you could throw in Monty and Cooper. Monty and Cooper for, I doubt you get an Eckler, but you try. Bijan, Taylor, those are all players I'm looking to maybe acquire. I like the idea in going after maybe Swift or Hall or Aaron Jones in a smaller deal. So if we're looking at, giving up like Cooper and Foreman for one of those, that would be a fantastic move. Achane using Cooper and Foreman. I think Achane's fantastic to hold on your IR spot. But Monty might get you Eckler if you throw in Amari Cooper. JT, maybe even ask for something back. Saquon and Cooper for Eckler, and let's say they got a Devontae Smith or Ridley. Rocky, I'm making that move. Got 10 more gifted memberships from Ron Navy, dropping them. Thank Ron if you got one from Ron tonight. Michael Russo, $10 hauler, gets a moonshot. Russo, appreciate you, my broski. Grade this trade. Jordan, Addison, and Sutton for DK Metcalf and Garrett Wilson. As much as I love the way Addison's playing, I do take DK and Garrett Wilson. Sutton, I don't care about too much. He's not horrible, but I don't love Sutton. So I'd definitely say, thank you, Tater Toddy, appreciate you. I'd definitely say, give me the DK Garrett Wilson side. I'd say that's a grade. I don't know a grade, but I'd say you practically got him. But Addison's playing so good, I'm not going to hit the got him button. But I'd say that's a really nice move. And that's a good usage of Addison if you're going to sell him at all. 3 and 4.5, K9, Swift, Pacheco, Sharbs. Trade away Puka, Hunt for Keenan Allen, Gainwell. I'm going to say no. I like Puka more. Keenan Allen's really good, bro. He's playing great this year. And take a lap on me for the season's not over yet. And honestly, even if let's say he got hurt, because that's been my prediction that he won't stay healthy, and I'm wrong. I'll take a lap on it so far. And even if I'm right, he gets hurt tomorrow. The better advice would have been draft him and then sell high like midway through the season. And I didn't say that. So at the end of the day, I'm wrong. But I still think Puka is better. I'm not trading Puka Nacua for Keenan Allen. And one could argue either side, but very, very close. Thank you, Barton. Appreciate you. I think that's your only question, right? And Tank or Hunt for Roshan Rice. I would rather have Roshan Rice by a hair, but the news could fluctuate on that and change everything, you know, with a Roshan piece of news, negative or positive, you know, and Rice is pretty steady. See you all later. Appreciate you. Perps coming in with a last second $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps, appreciate you with the 20 spot last second. Perp says, Smitty, you're on your way out the door, or smash the like button on the way out the door, guys. He puts in a ton of work for these chats. Best channel in the business, Smitty, we trust. Appreciate you, Perps, for dropping that super chat. You are the man, the myth, the legend. You come in strong tonight, bro. Strong. Tank Dell or Downs this week. Probably go Downs, but like, I don't know. Let's revisit later, because I think this could be the game that people that forgot how good Tank Dell can be regret it. And I do like the way you're headed with this. But Downs, Dell Downs, very even, Steven. Let's take it into the later in the week and answer that question. Appreciate you all.
Kenneth Skywalker.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.